playing a 7th year, another year, and maybe unlimited, which we've talked about at some point. That maybe the NCAA saying you've got to leave, you can't play anymore. Maybe that's unconstitutional or un-American. But Diego Pavia, before it gets too far, went to Twitter last night and said, "This is my last year." Handshake emoji. But Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, according to his attorneys, could challenge for a 7th year of eligibility if they want to.
I got to ask, why is he so definitive on this being his last year?
I'm with you. That's what jumps out at me.
Yeah,
do you think this guy's going to play in the NFL?
No. And he's 6 feet. We saw him. He's built like a fire hydrant in the worst way.
Yeah.
But can you imagine, though, and I kind of would like this. I don't know where you guys fall on this. I guess I've gotten so conditioned to seeing people that played in 2020 that have played now 6, maybe 7 years of college football. Can you imagine how good Pavia would be in 3 or 4 years? Like, instead of selling insurance, our go-to there, if Pavia was an SEC quarterback in 3 or 4 years still at Vanderbilt, hell, at 26, 27 years old, he would be really, really good.
Yeah.
And that would keep them competitive.
I mean, they've just had 2 massive wins in terms of point spread for Vanderbilt. I mean, when you start looking at Vanderbilt, they don't often beat Power 4 teams 44-20 and 31-7. Like I said the other day, I think it's the first time in my lifetime I've ever seen him do this. In those 2 games, he's thrown for 193 yards and 177 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Like, the guy does nothing spectacular.
No. What do you think is more achievable, though, him getting another year or him actually going on a legitimate date with Tate McRae? I think another year of eligibility.
Oh,
I'm talking about a legitimate date.
It was you guys on this show. I forget who brought it up first, but we had a long discussion about how can they say, now that we're paying players, it would be challenged in court. How can they say, if you're a student, you're not allowed to play?
Yeah.
It's just some arbitrary number. 5 full years. We've all settled. Forget red shirts. Let's just say 5 full years. Yeah. But even at this day and age, where they are avoiding going to court over everything, which is why they didn't wait for yesterday to happen in trial. They went on and granted anybody that's ever gone to junior college an extra year just so that those people can come back and sue if they lost this case for missing this year. So they're scared of lawsuits.
Yeah, I don't even think you've got to be a student as long as you've graduated from that specific university.
If we're paying players as employees, why the crap do they even have to be enrolled in school? I mean, I know people don't want college football to become that, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how it would stand up in the legal system.
But from a fan, I mean, the football would obviously be better at this point, but from a fan, do you want unlimited eligibility?
I think a fan says no to that until they get a player.
Oh, Vanderbilt fans are all about this.
Until they get a player like Diego Pavia that's not good enough to play in the NFL. But if he played for me for 3 or 4 more years, I could start to envision us being a decent or good program.
This is where I'm going to play both sides. If I'm an Ohio State, Alabama, Texas fan, I don't want this. But if I'm a Vanderbilt fan, if I'm an Iowa State fan, Brock Purdy probably never goes to the NFL if he's got these deals.
LT's neighbor makes a great point, though. The unintended consequence of that is what happens to high school kids. Like, if you've got unlimited eligibility, there are fewer and fewer spots for high school kids to get a college education if they want that, or just play college football.
By the way, that's already impacting the way we're doing high school recruiting anyway. But that's throwing some high school recruits off into the group of 5s who then later come up with experience.
But I will also say it's on the way anyway, because I'll tell you what else is on the way. Fewer college football programs, number one, that aren't going to be able to participate. And number two, there are going to be shrunken rosters. There is no way in the future business model.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor,
Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we go tonight with NFL action. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. Most interesting thing into this for me is I don't think anybody's ever been fired at halftime. We may get that tonight.
Dude,
I appreciate you wearing the T-shirt, though.
Oh, it is. You want to know what it's created today?
Yeah.
Go through the drive-thru to get my daughter breakfast on the way to school. Guy that hands me an order literally says, "Go Bills."
Yeah, yeah.
Stop at a convenience store to get a good fresh Diet Coke on the way to work after dropping my daughter off at school. Lady behind the counter says,
Sorry for your loss.
No, lady behind the counter literally says, "What's up there, Dolphin?" And I said, not a lot. We're not very good this year. She goes, "With all due respect, when have you been any good?"
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
I was like, "Come on." And she goes,
and
she started laughing. She goes, "My husband's actually a Dolphins fan, so I know."
I don't know if this is surprising or not, but Tua has never been 0-2. First time he's ever been 0-2 at any level.
He said that in the postgame the other day. He goes, "I can't tell you if Waddle and I have ever been 0-2.
Well, you brought Waddle into it.
That's a Bama flex right there.
Bama flex is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to that game coming up. Could Mike McDaniel be fired in game? Because as Yahoo Sports write, this could get ugly early from Yahoo Sports.
I actually kind of like this talk. I think when people think this way, it's a better game than you would think.
And I told Brown, it's probably when you have a 13-plus point underdog in the NFL, they might win 1 out of 20 straight up. But I could see the Dolphins. I haven't come out with a final play on this game. But, I mean, this seems like the easiest money ever, just the way the Dolphins play and the way the Bills
13.
play. Yeah.
12.5 last I saw it, 13 now at mybookie.ag. Rice and Charlotte tonight. Rice a slight favorite on that. We'll talk about that game coming up when we get to our conversation about lanceslock.com, where you can jump in and purchase that. Joel Klatt, usually with us on Mondays, joins the show today to start hour 2. Dan Orlovsky to talk NFL with us to start hour number 3. Listen, Auburn, Oklahoma, biggest game in the country. We're going to get to that a lot. There are some things that that I do backwards on this show. Like I'm supposed to lead with the most important, most interesting sports thing, and probably for our viewers, that is Auburn, Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
But the thing that blew my mind yesterday is a contract now that is worth more than Mookie Betts.
Okay.
Worth more than some NFL starting quarterbacks. According to The Athletic and Sportico and Andrew Marchand, all those people, Stephen A. Smith makes $40 million a year now. And you put that on the sports graphic, that's more than Mookie Betts makes per year.
Wow.
And a number of Rudy Gobert is more than Rudy Gobert makes. The number of sports figures that it's more than that Stephen A. makes more per year now is absolutely is crazy. From The Athletic, Jalen Brunson, pretty important to the Knicks, $39.1 million. Stephen A. makes more. Garrett Cole of the Yankees, $36 million. Stephen A. makes more. Justin Jefferson of the Vikings, $35 million a year. Stephen A. makes more. Mookie Betts, as I said. Connor McDavid, one of the best young hockey players in the NHL. Stephen A. makes more than that. And you're wondering, $21 million a year from ESPN, $12 million a year now from SiriusXM from his new radio show, and $6 million a year from his YouTube podcast that he makes. That's $40 million a year that he makes now, Stephen A. Smith. Does that not blow your freaking mind?
It's a lot of money, and I remember when he first came onto the scene when he was making like 1.5. I remember a really good article back in the old SI days when you actually had the publication, the magazine. I like Stephen A. I've always liked him. He is a hard-ass worker.
That's what I was going to say. Like all those guys you named, and I won't say this about many people in the media industry, I don't know how many of those guys work harder than Stephen A.
No.
I mean, he works as hard now. It's different work, obviously. He's not in the weight room. He's not running 110s.
Yeah, ESPN in the morning, though, every day.
All the time.
Rarely take days off.
You almost never see him take a day off.
Yeah. SiriusXM.
Yep.
So he's doing 2 hours of radio now every day.
That's right.
And he's doing a podcast on YouTube. He was debating Clay earlier this week.
Travels a ton.
When the NBA cranks back up, he will do an NBA pregame show. I don't know if he can continue to do that, but he has recently. He's on campus. He takes his show on the road to an HBCU every Friday.
That's right.
To your point, every time the Cowboys lose 2 in a row, he'll take his show to Dallas, wear the black hat,
That's right.
has fun with the Cowboy fans.
Could be a lot.
I mean, that's just it just blew my mind.
But he is the most dynamic personality ESPN's got, and they still are the biggest brand out there. And they don't have, I don't know. I mean, he separated himself from. They've got very valuable properties. I mean, Kirk Herbstreit is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Feinbaum, to a degree, is one of those guys. McAfee is one of those guys.
Troy Aikman. I mean, that's one of their highest paid.
But Stephen A. is one of those guys that is so versatile. You can throw him on any of these platforms, let him go. He's got an opinion. It always generates a lot of buzz. There's a reason he's getting paid $40 million. They believe he's worth it, and the return on investment, I'm sure, is there.
He's a lot. Obviously, he likes to yell, likes to have fun. But one thing that not necessarily changed my opinion of him, that made me like him more, I guess that's changing your opinion, so it made me like him more, is I saw an interview, I read an interview with a former ESPN producer, and it was one of these, like, ESPN producer dishes what it's really like behind the scenes. And one of the questions that was asked to him was, what's it like working with some of the big-name talent? And he named some by name, and he goes, Stephen A. Smith, he goes, the one thing I always respected about him is no matter what happened, if you called him to do a SportsCenter hit, he would do it.
That's right.
And I was like, man, normally your high-paid guys are a little more diva than that.
Yeah.
And they're like, no matter what
this is my free time.
Yeah, no matter what our big story was, if we needed him to do a SportsCenter hit, it was never an excuse. Yeah. It was never a no. He went out of his way to do it. And that actually, for a guy
I'm
that's
at home
high-paid,
on a Saturday. You're going to call me?
That's right. And I mean, look, a lot of big-time talent are going to do that. That actually made me respect Stephen A. more, that he is that highly paid, and he gets that if I'm going to be that highly paid, I got to do stuff like this.
Did you guys see any of the debate?
I didn't, but there are people talking about it in the chat. That
I
said it was really good.
I saw like the first 20 minutes, and it got to a point where I went back and watched it. I didn't watch it live, but I watched like the first 20 minutes, and it was good.
Yeah.
All I could think about when I was reading Stephen A.'s salary last night was how Clay was the underpaid one in that in that debate there, and Clay always tells us how much he makes.
Yeah, I mean we say that. Hell, I don't know. Clay's renegotiating his deal right now for Buck and Sexton.
He may catch Stephen
A.
He may get $40 million a year.
I mean, what was Limbaugh making? I know they're not making that combined.
I don't think it was 40, but that again.
I bet it was.
Well, I don't know.
I bet it was.
Show today being brought to you by our friend Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Tell us about them, Brownie.
I can tell you what he's made for his clients. That's $2 billion. Is that more than Stephen A. makes? $2 billion?
It is.
Yes, it is.
I had to do the math for a second, but yes, it is.
Alexander Shannara, Shannara.com. Shannara.com, that's where you go when you're in need of an attorney. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Listen, one thing they wanted to make sure they do is create a firm that will take care of everybody in their community and the legal needs that you face. Well, Alexander Shannara's community is Birmingham. He's done just that. This firm now not only handles personal injury claims, as you know, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Okay, so didn't want to do this before we get to the fun stuff, but, it's happening. College football, we're taking more games across the pond. Announced this morning, Arizona State and Kansas are going to play the first ever college football game in London next season. It's going to be September 19th, Wembley Stadium, Arizona State and Kansas.
In season. Wow, not a week zero. That is surprising.
Yeah, so we'll already have the Ireland game. I forget who it was next year.
It's a Big 12, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is another Big 12 on the road, Arizona State, Kansas at Wembley Stadium. It'll be an annual game, Union Jack Classic, so they'll have a college game there every year. That's their plan. September 19th, 2026. We hate it when the NFL's over there. What do you think about this?
I don't understand it. The NFL, at least I understand merchandising, and maybe eventually you relocate a team over there, which I think would be a disaster, but they've at least talked about that. What is the benefit here with the college game?
Don't get it. And real quick, TCU, North Carolina, the rematch of that is next year's Ireland game.
Yeah, so that's a week zero.
That's a week zero
in Dublin.
Which I get more, Lance, because you've got time to get back now. According to Chris Kleiman, it's very difficult to do. According to Matt Campbell, they haven't really struggled with it. But you got time to get back and acclimatize. I'm with Lance. I do not get this in the college game.
It was the Pac-12 that was talking about
Japan, right?
China, I believe.
Okay, was it China?
Yeah, I thought it was China, the
Well,
Pac-12.
yeah, somewhere in the Far East.
So back to Gary Danielson this past weekend, watching that long weather delay and then watching Purdue and USC, and they did the Gary Danielson tribute at halftime. And so it went back and it showed a game from 92 or 93 that was in Tokyo between Michigan State and maybe Purdue. I forgot who the two Big Ten teams were.
I remember them playing,
I think I remember
not
that
that
too.
game, but I remember a game being played at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the sideline reporter was Gary Danielson.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
so Vern was in the booth, and they threw it down to Gary, and so they showed that little clip. But yeah, and I was like, damn, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand it because, again, if you're trying to sell 32 brands, I think, around the world, maybe, people jump on board with the NFL, and they've got the YouTube Sunday package. You've got too many properties in college football. Consistently, people aren't going to be coming over and playing.
It's got to be NIL money. I mean, they've got to be donating to the NIL funds, and I guess England's benefit is tourism. I guess they're encouraging tourism to England, which I wouldn't. I mean, I think a lot of people like to go over there anyway and would go if they had the money.
But as far as picking up the product, one of the biggest problems is the time delay.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I was about to say. I mean, you can already just count this in.
I mean, the 11 o'clock kicks would work.
It's going to be this will kick during game day. This will be, I guarantee you, they'll have it lined up to where it's going to be a 9 a.m. East Coast, 8 Central, or 10 a.m. East Coast, 9 Central, and lead into their big noon kickoff.
I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was a year where Navy and Notre Dame played in Ireland, and it was being played during game day. It was not a week 0 game. I think it was a week 1 game, maybe week 2. That's before we had week 0, but they were playing during game day. So I'm with you. I think this will be, game day. All right, let's do our live look in. Let's go to, the Union Jack Classic.
Yeah, but for the Brit residents over there, like I know we have been forced soccer for years and years and years, and it doesn't work. Like the masses just don't appeal for soccer. Like their masses over there, they are soccer fans. Right. Does it work? I mean, do they like really enjoy American football?
Let me ask you this.
I would imagine they enjoy American football at the same rate we enjoy soccer. The MLS continues to grow. The World Cup's coming. It'll pack stadiums for the World Cup, but it's not our number one, right?
It's very minimal. But I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me.
But if Manchester United and Chelsea played an actual regular season game in a large U.S. city, it
counted.
It would sell out.
Easy.
Oh, easy. Because you would get people, let's say
70,000,
let's say you did it in Chicago, you get people from Detroit and Milwaukee.
They do it?
Yeah, they do it.
Okay,
And
well,
they
then
do sell out.
Not that it counts, so it doesn't count.
No, normally they're
it's an exhibition.
games.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, if the
But
exhibition
still-
sells out, then the actual counter
They
would sell
still
out.
do very well.
Yeah. Well, what would be the college equivalent of that in soccer?
No, Arizona State, Kansas.
No. I'm asking the soccer college equivalent. What would be so the difference between the NFL and college in America? What's the difference between Manchester United and what would be the college? Does that make sense?
Probably the MLS.
Yeah, that'd probably be
It's
about
probably
right.
the level of soccer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't. I mean, I guess that sells out. It doesn't sell out big stadiums. I'm trying to wrap my mind around what you're talking about as the English fan. I get why they get after the NFL.
Yeah, and look, and as an NFL fan, I don't think
Yeah.
you guys like Tampa or Miami going over. The Rams
I
have to
hate
go to
it.
London.
I hate it.
Later this year. I absolutely hate it. I wouldn't want my college team going over there, but I don't mind college teams going over there because you talk about this early window. It's just more football.
It'd be another window that you can have on, and I don't know if Arizona State, Kansas, where they'll be next year, and if it would make your main TV screen with SEC games going on, but maybe that's an opportunity for you to see them. Just last thought on this. I didn't really want to go 10, 15 minutes on it, but SEC ever play a game abroad? Do you think so, yes or no?
No, it sounds like the Big 12's got the corner on this market for some reason.
Well, I mean, if Sankey can make money with it.
Yeah, I would say no because of the
You don't want to cost a team a home game.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, all due respect to Kansas, and I don't know why I'm assuming it's Kansas's home game, but I wrote Arizona State, Kansas down in that order. That's the way it's listed everywhere, and I always put home team last. So I feel like it's a Kansas home game. They just built that new stadium.
I know.
So it's odd for me that they're going to give up a home game.
If Missouri and Mississippi State played in England, Now, the schools would get a lot of money, but think about what that would do to the local Starkville economy. Let's say they lost the home game.
Oh, that'd be bad.
I mean, that's one of 7 Saturdays where they kill it and you just lose it. I mean, that's just kind of bad.
But is it
bad
easier
PR.
to do with a 9-game schedule now?
Maybe.
Where you
maybe.
actually take that in between and it works out for both, where it's kind of a neutral site and each get 4.
I think it diminishes your product. I think if you're the SEC, you're like, no, we play in the best stadiums in the world, on the best campuses in the world, in front of the best atmospheres in the world. Why would we do that anywhere
I got your point
else?
on Matt Campbell, and they're undefeated right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how this season plays out. But I would talk to a guy like Chris Kleiman and just what it did to that team.
Yeah, especially in season. That's the big thing. It's not week 0 where you can control. I mean, in season, that seems like it'd take you a while to catch up.
I would venture to say both will have a bye week built in after that.
Yeah.
That's developing news that has happened this morning. Before LT tells you about our friends at CPAP Plus, I just want to tease ahead here. In this segment, I have thrown together what I'm calling the Magic 8 prop bets for today. Got a little Magic 8 ball. Got 8 prop bets that I'm going to throw out for you.
These college football?
College football related,
All
some
right.
games this weekend. And I want y'all's plays and thoughts on these 8. And then we'll get to Auburn, Oklahoma specifically coming up in the next segment. Then Joel Klatt, tell us about Sleep Home Alabama.
It's Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. Everybody needs to know whether or not they've got sleep apnea. Sleep's so important for your health. And our friends from CPAP Plus, 5 locations throughout the state, Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy, they can do it for you. Nobody wants to deal with the lab. Nobody wants to deal with the insurance. No lab, no insurance. Just $199 home sleep test. You get information. Go to sleephomealabama.com. No lab, just easy to wear fingertip devices, clinically validated, that connect to your smartphone, complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. Again, sleephomealabama.com. Sleeper pick tonight. Anybody feeling the Miami Dolphins plus the 13 in the home?
I do like the more everybody talks about how big a blowout this is going to be. That makes me feel better, but only better in the fact that Miami plays it within a touchdown. I cannot see a path to victory for Miami in this game.
Yeah, I like the under tonight. That's my sleeper
I
pick
would
tonight.
almost
the
just
under.
take that. That means it's
49.5.
At least don't get run out of the stadium, maybe.
Our friends Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing want to give you a free no-cost roof inspection. Man, did anybody get awakened last night?
I did.
Or as you were trying to play video games late into the evening, or whether you're watching Child's Play 7, Tyler, and you hear thunder outside, little thunderstorm. We need the rain, but if you had any storm damage last night, Greg can take care of that for you. Call Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. 542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Look at the Storm Restoration website if that's easier for you. Here's what Greg offers you. First, that free no-cost roof inspection. He gets up there, inspects your roof. Some of you, most of you, probably don't even know the last time you had your roof inspected. It just takes one loose shingle to create a water entry point that can cause roof damage. So get that roof inspected for free from Greg from Pell City. Family-owned, locally owned for over 20 years. He's great with your insurance providers. He and his wife run the company. That A-plus service there, A-plus with a Better Business Bureau service for a full roof replacement, roofing repairs, storm damage repairs, and he's got financing available right now, Storm Restoration Roofing. All right, let's run through it. By the way, I've already told Brown I'm a loser this week in my upset alert. I feel like I'm on the wrong side of Illinois, Indiana.
He's already flipped
The more
in a day and a
research
half.
I've done, I'm going to be cheering my butt off for the Illini, but I feel like I'm on the wrong side of history here. So I'll start there. Total yards, over under for Fernando Mendoza, 298.5. Total yards. Talk to me about Fernando Mendoza. Total yards, 298.5.
You know, for Fernando Mendoza is such a good quarterback that nobody knows about, leading the Big Ten with touchdown passes right now. Boy, this Illinois defense is really, really good, though.
I've come up on, these are not official anywhere. These are all gym numbers here.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Total
take
yards.
I would take the. You're talking about total yards.
Total
okay.
rush and passing.
Because Mendoza can run it a little bit. I still am going to take the under 298.5.
Illinois is allowing 193 a game through the air, and you gave me 298.
298 total yards,
Total, I know.
rushing
Yeah.
and passing.
But that'd be 100. If he just hit their average, that'd be 100 rush yards. I think I'll take the under on that. I think Brett Bielema slows him down a little bit.
Okay.
And Brett Bielema, assuming this is the way he plays, he can extend. He can shrink a game with these extended drives running the football.
Yeah.
Keep the ball out of his hand.
I'm going to take the under too.
Okay.
I was hoping some overs there. All right. Okay, Miami. They're playing host to the Florida Gators this weekend. If I put their team total, am I saying this right?
Yep.
Team total at 21.5.
I'll take the over.
Miami team total at 21.5. These are gym numbers.
I would take the over. Now, a lot of people are going to get baited in. Well, LSU only scored 20, and Florida turned it over 5 times. Well, but I think LSU's offense is struggling a little bit. I don't know if that was as much a function of Miami or Florida's defense as LSU's offense. So I'll take the over, Lance, with Miami.
I think I would play the under. I think if Florida's path to victory is great defense. Look, and they played really, really good defense this past week against LSU in a game that they had every opportunity to win if DJ Turnover doesn't turn it over 5 times. I am going to take the under on the team total here, though. I think Florida keeps this really, really interesting.
It feels like it'll be right at 17 or 20 for me. I'm going to take the under as well. Arizona State and Baylor play each other this weekend. 2 pretty good quarterbacks.
I'll take the over.
Combined passing yards between the 2 quarterbacks at 715.5. That's a lot.
That's a lot of passing yards.
So you're looking at basically 357, 358 per. I'm going to tell you, I Forster sent out our DraftKings. I locked in both quarterbacks already.
So I've dialed in on this one, is what you think.
Yeah, well, I mean the
number seems high. But
the total's only 59.5, and that's a little light for where these offenses and defenses are right now. But I would go the over there.
I was going to give you – so this is just passing yards?
Just passing yards.
Yeah. So Sawyer Robertson's averaging 356 a game.
I think a lot of people think this is going to play out like Baylor and SMU did. I don't know if it's going to get to that degree, but I think
I would take the under. I think I'd take the under on that one. Okay. That's a lot of passing yards. 715 is where you went. Boy, that's a lot of passing
you'll probably
yards.
get a lot of Raleek Brown running the football, Bryson Washington running the football, and it probably flies under now that I think it will go way over.
Maine Fox, by the way, if you're looking for that, 6:30 prime time, Arizona State and Baylor. Good game. Tennessee plays host to the Fighting Blazers of UAB. Chris Brazel.
I think it's Brazel.
Okay. I'm going to go Brazel. You say Brazel, and one of us will get it
We
right.
at least show
I'll tell you
right.
this. He is 3rd right now in odds to win the Blitnikoff.
Yeah. Rising up draft boards, too, I read this morning. I'm going to put him at, and I know he may not play the whole game, but when he plays, I think he's going to play good. 193.5 receiving yards for Brazel.
Way under.
Way under.
I love he's not going to play much, but the guy's going to have a 200-yard receiving day.
Now, let me. Where do you imagine?
That is a massive, massive day.
So under
What's
for
his
LT.
biggest day so
I mean,
far?
Mario Craver had one this past week, which if you're a Mississippi State fan, you're like, damn, Jeff Lebby, how do you not use this guy better?
Again, these are not official. You can't go to mybookie.ag or anywhere else and try to bet these. These are gym numbers. Way out of whack on this one, LT says. Have I got any of these good yet? Any of these have been close
I
yet?
mean, I think your Sawyer Robertson and Sam Levitt is fair. I think your team total is probably close on Miami.
I will say this, though, as I pull this up, UAB is giving up on average 258 a game through the air. And keep in mind they played Navy. So Alabama State put 312 on them. 312 through the air.
Oh, look, I mean,
Akron, a terrible team, put 282 on them through the air. I'm not sure you've got a bad number there.
well, it just depends on what Tennessee wants to do. Do
Yeah.
you want to continue to build numbers with Aguilar and these receivers? And I would assume Heupel could name his score against UAB. There's a reason they're a 38.5-point favorite. But we've talked about physical games, and I know that, 44-41 doesn't typically equate to a physical game. It's a pretty physical game this past weekend against Georgia. Coming off that, now playing UAB, beat up, and coming off really an emotional
An
loss
emotional letdown probably. And it's UAB Super Bowl. I mean, they're going to come in and, they're not going to win the game. In fact, they'll be lucky to keep it within the number. But, it's going to be their Super Bowl, so they're probably I kind of like your number there.
It's a
It's
heavy
a big number, but that
could-
UAB pass defense.
he could get it if they wanted to get it, but it's a big number.
So over or under, Brownie?
I'll take the over.
I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
That's I probably get some pretty good odds with the over.
Yeah.
for
No, these
198.
are all extreme numbers, I
Yes.
think. Jake Retzloff takes Tulane into play Ole Miss, but more in this game coming up a little bit later. We'll dive into it. But I've got him 97.5 rushing yards.
Oh, I would go way under.
Way under for
Yeah.
LT. These
Yeah.
are extreme. I'm going to take
I'm
take the over.
I like Tulane to keep this game closer than a lot of people think. And Retzlaff's been okay. They're 3-0, but he hasn't been great. And for him to rush for over 100 yards on the road against an SEC defense that hasn't been good.
It hasn't been good.
Would still be impressive.
Is that number the Taylon Green number had to affect that? Taylon Green had his way running the ball, but he's a much better runner than Retzlaff, I would think. So I take the under on that.
You're going to take the under. Brown's taking the under.
I wonder if Retzlaff has ever rushed for that amount in any game in his career.
Maybe not. Again, these are gym numbers. Apparently, that one was really bad too. But hey, still good. I'm confident still with these numbers.
Okay.
Michigan, they play Nebraska this week in a battle of 5-star quarterbacks. If I put passing touchdowns for Bryce Underwood at a half.
Can I quickly go back? I am so sorry to do this to you. Retzlaff has rushed for 100 yards twice already this year.
I see that.
113 against Northwestern, 111 against Duke.
You guys act like I don't do any research.
I know, but I just thought it was funny. Lance is like, I wonder if he's ever done it. He never did it at BYU.
Forrester, help me out. Do I do any research for the show at all? They're just trashing my numbers. I'm setting them up to come back for a victory lap on Monday. Do I do any research?
Maybe a little.
Okay. That's crazy, though. He never did it at BYU, but he's done it twice in 3 games.
That's shocking.
Yeah, that is a bit shocking. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
No. Interrupt me anytime to compliment me.
Anytime I can make you look good.
Yeah,
All right.
Bryce Underwood. Battling his Michigan team, battling Nebraska. I'm going to put his passing touchdowns at a half. Does he get a passing touchdown in this game or not?
I would say I would play the over, but I wouldn't feel great about it.
I'm going to play the under.
What's our issue there? Is that I said I'd play the over.
I think Nebraska's defense is pretty damn good. He's on the road. What did he have? One against Oklahoma? Yeah. They had one touchdown against Oklahoma. I think it's going to be about the same.
Is this an Army-Navy-like total? I haven't looked at it at mybookie.ag. What's the total in this
give
game?
Me 2 seconds.
I would say 42.
You think so?
That's a pretty low number, isn't it?
It is 45.5.
45.5.
Early lean from LT on the under on that game there.
Yeah.
My bookie's up to 46 now, so you're even getting a little better value.
Yeah. Let's go USC. USC with a fun game this week. Late night, 10 o'clock Fox, Michigan State and USC. USC team total, 33.5.
Oh, man. They did not perform well in the red zone as far as converting touchdowns last week. I will say it's going to be hard for that team to score less than 33. I would say I would take the over.
But, I thought they would.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
You walk out.
No, it really is, though.
Look at our offense. It's going to be hard for us to score less than 33 today. So over for you.
Yeah.
Over for me.
But I thought the same thing at Purdue.
Again, a lot of those drives stalled out.
Yeah, I thought the same thing at Purdue.
Over for me. Under or over?
I'll go over.
Over?
Yeah.
Do you watch any Michigan State and Boston College?
I did, but how good is Boston College? They go and lose by 2 touchdowns at Stanford.
That's my point. That was a lot of offense from Boston College.
That's what I'm saying. I take the over. Didn't I say over?
Yeah, I know. It's probably an easy over for USC at 33.5. Last one, Oklahoma playing host to Auburn. Auburn on the road. We've talked a lot about turnovers not happening for Jackson Arnold. If I put Auburn team turnovers now, not just Jackson, at 1.5.
I would take the over. Yeah.
You think Auburn turns it over 2 times?
It's good defense on the road. It's hard not to turn it over. 1 gets me to the number. So in true gambling fashion, I would say I'll bet on 1 more and take the over. Yeah. And Auburn they haven't turned it over a lot this year, which normally you would say, that's a good sign. But I think you're going to have
this is a game that could go either way for Jackson Arnold, but I could see him press a little bit. I don't have a feel for this game yet. I'll lean over.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over as well at 1.5. I thought I'd get at least 1 under there from you guys.
Auburn
if they turn it over 2 times, that's a hard W for them.
That's going to be tough. They're +2 in turnovers.
By the way, Oklahoma -5. My research tells me
that is correct. Oklahoma is in fact. You know who's the best turnover margin in the SEC?
I was going to say Oklahoma until you said that.
Well, there's one team that has not turned it over in the SEC yet this year.
It's Alabama.
That's the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They're +6.
Even in a bye week, we're still on Alabama show.
Well, it's just interesting. You look at that and you're like, they're 2-1. Normally, you give Alabama 0 turnovers, and I don't know how you beat them.
Next segment, we will talk more about Auburn and Oklahoma and how that game can play out. You've got to hear a little Nick Saban life advice later in the show, and Joel Klatt to start hour number 2. The show being brought to you by a couple of great folks, including our friends at Bojangles, Brownie.
It can be bow time for you at Bojangles. Go get those hand-breaded chicken tenders right there at Bojangles, and the great dipping sauces. They've got 7 to choose from. They complement those so well. You can enjoy a tailgate at your local high school or college game. You can enjoy those college football watch parties and let Bojangles cater those for you. Bojangles can also be your breakfast stop tomorrow morning. That pork chop griller is back at Bojangles. You've missed it. It's missed you. So how about reuniting with that pork chop griller on your way to work or school tomorrow? So whether it's tailgating, the college watch parties, or tomorrow's breakfast, make it bow time with Bojangles.
I had an opportunity to stop and pick up some company distilling bourbon yesterday. Got the maple and the applewood. Absolutely fantastic award-winning whiskeys now available in Alabama. Not only Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas as well. Company Distilling has 3 must-visit locations across Tennessee if you're looking for the road trip this coming fall. Each offers something special. Townsend, right there located in the heart of the Smokies. Lynchburg, charming historic setting. And Thompson Station, just outside of Nashville. Modern tasting room offers relaxed atmosphere to sip and explore their award-winning lineup. Stop into your local ABC store, ask for it by name if they don't have it. Tell them to get it. It is Company Distilling.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to chenard.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, before we get to Auburn, Oklahoma, there's not a city in Oklahoma named Auburn. It's Auburn at Oklahoma. It is really cool. We could do that in the summer one time, just city names around the SEC and states that are different. Because I do think there's a Tokyo, Oklahoma. At least there's a song, Tokyo, Oklahoma.
Ooh, I've been through a lot of Oklahoma. I've never seen Tokyo, but
Well, look that out. I may have just walked right on the end of the pier.
It's a John Anderson song.
I will still come across towns in Alabama that I've never heard of, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. I've lived here my whole life. I'm the same as you. Like, you'll see a town name, and I've never even heard of that.
John Anderson song, so there's a chance it's from a different era, and that could have been socially insensitive.
I don't think it's an actual city.
Okay.
It is a John Anderson song.
convention now, too.
What now?
It's an anime convention now, too.
Yeah, it is. As I am discovering, Tyler, that is a big thing. Yes.
Loser of the bracket this year going to an anime.
Yeah.
Tyler gets to go with us.
Tyler's like, let me play.
Tyler can go with us as our translator.
Yeah, that's what it would be like. Taking somebody that speaks, fluent Mandarin Chinese over to China.
4-day anime convention. Sorry, Tyler. During July at the Marriott Tulsa Hotel, Southern Hills. Oh, that's a great golf course. All of a sudden, everybody's like, I know who's going to lose now.
Yeah, bracket challenge off now. Too good for Brown.
Family friendly, so you don't have to worry about it being like too weird.
Okay, yeah.
Look at there it is. So there it is. Tokyo, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I do want to go to and stay at the Mayo Hotel in Tulsa, where our man Sylvester Stallone lived in Tulsa King.
Yeah, new season out, right?
I think it comes out in November. Yeah, that and Landman.
Cubs clinched a playoff bid last night. They're back in the playoffs for the first time in 2020. Good for them. Show being brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank. Tell us about that.
A bank that is big enough to meet all of your needs, but still small enough to know you personally. That is Central State Bank. College life moves fast. You know that. Your banking needs should as well. Whether it is your first paycheck, your textbook hustle, your weekend road trip, Central State Bank is here to back you up as that college kid or that college kid in your life. With easy-to-use accounts, mobile banking, and hometown service, Central State Bank makes adulting easier. Family-owned, community-focused, always in your corner, whether it's your college kid or if you are a college kid. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Georgia Tech, they get the come-down game home to Temple this week, 3:30 on the CW, number 18 in the country. A little life advice from Nick Saban that he used to tell his team, his coaches, and everything that Brent Key is now using this week for his Georgia Tech program. Listen in.
Look, these guys have earned the opportunity to now have this challenge. They've earned that by the way they've competed and earned the outcomes that we all wanted. But every challenge gets bigger. And I told the team after practice the same thing I've said as the week is. Coach Saban used to tell us that more people die on the way down from Mount Everest than on the way up. And you can't relax. You can't relax. You have to be just as prepared, every single week. And there is no crescendo or top. I mean, look, our goals when we started the season were not to win Game 3 of the season. They weren't to win Game 4 of the season. They weren't to win Game 8 or 12. Our goals are a lot bigger than that. Our expectations internally are a lot bigger than that. As long as we keep our heads on the right place and stay focused, I think the other things will take care of themselves.
Now think about that, man.
I've never heard this.
More people die on the way down from Everest than on the way up from Everest, according to Nick Saban. At least, I don't know if that's factually true, but the analogy
is great.
The analogy there, you're focused to get to the top of Everest. And once you've done that on the way down.
Yeah, Jeeves, we check that,
But I'll take it a step further. You lose focus. Why? Not because you've reached the pinnacle, but because now you're tired, right? And you're having to come back down and I've accomplished my goals.
Or you're tired and relaxed because
you relaxed because you reached your goal.
Yeah, but you're exhausted too. So I mean, you got to fight through all. And Nick Saban loves to talk about all the external factors to get back home and get back to the bottom.
God, how about would that suck to achieve that and on the way down die?
Yeah.
So I've got an answer from Google. It says more people died descending Mount Everest than ascending it, with around 56% of fatalities occurring on the way down. This increased danger is due to the climber's extreme exhaustion, reduced mental clarity, compromised footing, and lingering effects of the high-altitude death zone.
Yep. See, I mean, you can translate all those into football.
Yep.
Where's the death zone? Hey.
The greatest of all time.
I know.
Spitting those facts, too.
Stay out of the death zone. Just don't go over there.
You don't go in the death zone.
Yeah.
And they leave those bodies up there. They don't drag those bodies down, by the way. You can't really. So,
at some point.
No.
At some point when it gets down under the freezing line.
I hate to say it, but no, those bodies stay up there, buddy.
I think they're all over.
They've tried to get some of them down, but most of the time they just leave them there.
The death zone,
Some of them
up
are
top.
used as markers for climbers.
No, they are. They're used as like I think there's one called green boots.
Yeah.
It's a body that has been up there forever, and it's got green boots, and it is a noted marker on the trail. Like, if they're radioing back, have you passed green boots?
Old green boots realized that would be his.
Green boots did not know that was his legacy.
Yeah. My luck would be ripped underwear. When you go past holy underwear, you made it to holy underwear yet?
On the trail.
Did you make it to holy underwear? The guy didn't wear the good underwear today. His grandmother always warned him. Holy underwear. He's right there, right next to green boots. He was looking at green boots when he died.
He tripped and fell.
Yeah, he was taking a selfie with green boots when he died. Okay, to the Auburn-Oklahoma game, right after we tell you about Lance's Lock, lanceslog.com. Does he have a play in Rice-Charlotte tonight? You got to find out. Go to lanceslog.com. Rice, a 2.5-point favorite. Before you tell us about Hemphill and lanceslog.com, last time Rice won a conference championship.
1954.
What do you say?
I said, oh, Lord. But then I think they did one in the 60s. I'll go 63.
2013, they won the
CUSA, right?
the Conference USA Championship.
Not as bad as we thought.
Before that, 1957 Southwest Conference Championship.
I was thinking about the old stuff. I will not have a place on the Rice Rice game. Yeah, Rice-Charlotte, completely staying away from that game. Coming off a disappointing 2-3 last night in Major League Baseball. We've been killing Major League Baseball, but more Major League Baseball plays up tonight. We will have the Side and the Dolphins and Bills. Jump on board. Win with us. Again, 9-1 to start the NFL season at lanceslog.com. Free play every single day. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Okay, the availability report came out last night for Auburn and Oklahoma. You know Oklahoma doesn't have Arm Mason Thomas, their big pass rusher, for the first half because of targeting last week, so he's out the first half. That's an advantage Auburn. For Auburn, get Forrester's mic here, and you guys chime in. Doubtful includes Amaris Williams, big defensive end, and Jay Crawford, cornerback. Big impact on the game for either one of those if they don't play. Forrester, chime in if you want. Brownie, LT. No Williams, no Crawford. Both are doubtful. If they don't go, major impact.
I mean, Crawford's been good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this seems like one of those all-hands-on-deck games, doesn't it?
I would agree, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd go major impact, but, Scott, there's got to be some impact, right?
Yeah, I think Amaris Williams hurts for sure.
Yeah,
he's been pretty strong.
So Lance went Crawford, you went Williams. So I guess that would be somewhat of a major impact. I mean, it's one with the other.
Different Crawford. Kieran Crawford's been sort of the early star of the season for me. He'll be big in this game. Questionable though, Champ Anthony, who is expected to play, and Eric Singleton Jr., who showed up as questionable.
Yeah, Lance brought that up last night. He and I were talking at trivia, and he said, man, Eric Singleton Jr. on the injury report, and that one is big right there. But questionable on a Wednesday, I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's one of those little nicked up, and you feel like you've got to include him on the injury report, and it does make Brent Venables think a little differently about how you game plan, but I'd be really surprised if Singleton doesn't play. I mean, that's one of those guys behind the scenes. One of us probably would have heard, hey, watch out for this. I haven't heard anything. Have you guys heard anything?
No, I have not.
I have
Singleton,
not.
But that would be a tremendous loss. I think it's Auburn's best receiver. I think he's a better receiver than Cam Coleman. That would be a major, major loss for a passing game that is going to be badly needed. I think you're going to have to throw the football to win this game.
By the way, if you're playing a shell game, Hugh Freeze, you know how you don't make it look like he's going to miss the game if you're really just trying to sneak him in and have them prepare or not prepare for Eric Singleton. I don't even know if you can do that.
Right.
You roll him out for interviews. Here's Eric Singleton Jr. talking about going to Oklahoma this week.
I'm super excited, especially playing against a team like Oklahoma. You know, I grew up watching them on TV, so it's exciting to play there and play on TV in front of my family. This week should be the first week we have like everybody back and 100% healthy, and it should be exciting to watch. I really feel like we haven't shown anything yet, but I mean, y'all gonna see.
Eric Singleton, not questionable according to Eric Singleton.
No.
In fairness, that is a Tuesday interview.
Right.
Wednesday availability report, but he looks like everybody's healthy and ready to go.
I wonder at the end of the year, and this would be a good 4-downs question, I mean, Georgia Tech or Auburn, who has the most wins?
You're talking about on a Singleton play there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now, Georgia Tech's schedule, you'd have to say Georgia Tech. But, I mean, when Singleton, I was so excited for Auburn when Singleton came over because I'd watched him play several games at Georgia Tech, including the Georgia game last year that so many people watched. He was so good in that game. And he's just a guy you can use in so many different ways. And I am fascinated to see how he continues to develop in this offense now that you're in conference play and you've got to do some things that maybe you didn't have to do against Ball State or against South Alabama, and how they will use him in those situations.
Jason is with us on the phone lines, which you can call 205-734-0923. Did I get the number right, Brown?
You did, Jimmy.
All right, Jason. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, doing good. How about y'all?
Awesome.
Good deal. I made it back from Orange Beach the other week, boys.
Oh, glad you finally got back.
Glad you're still topside.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update. Yeah.
Way to go. Way to go. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, Dunaway. I stayed hydrated, like you said.
That's
and,
always so
everything
important.
Worked out good.
Yep.
Yes. So I got a little story real quick before I get to my main subject. I cannot listen to y'all on my podcast at the house on my speaker anymore because of Dunaway.
Oh, no.
What's he do?
Oh, yeah. So back Father's Day weekend, I get a speaker for Father's Day, a portable speaker for the shower. I love to listen to music in the shower.
Me too.
We may be listening to Tupac one day. How do you want it? You know, stuff like that. LT.
I
mean, we could be listening to anything. You know, so
it's uncomfortable. You're saying we, but go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm in the shower one day, and you know we're bathing up, and I got y'all blaring wide open, right? Wide open. So I have an 8-year-old in 3rd grade trying to do homework in the evening, and my wife busts in the bathroom, and she goes, "Hey, please turn that down. I'm trying to do homework. I cannot sit there and hear a guy talking about his favorite movie is The Notebook with this other Alabama football player. I can't listen to it. I can't do it. You got to turn it off." And I was like, all right, whatever, you know, so I turned it off. But my main thing was when the Auburn football goes sideways in the next few weeks, like I'm scared it's going to do, and Forrester, you know, you're a true Auburn fan. You know dang well that that's in the back of your mind that this can all go sideways real quick.
Forrester,
who do we go after?
Is that true, Forrester? Is it in the back of your mind, Forrester?
Yeah, it is.
I have concerns.
Okay,
I have concerns.
Okay. So I'm in the back of the shower. In the back of your mind, you think it can go sideways with Auburn. Okay.
So who do we go after when we have to cut Mr. Freeze loose?
I mean, we're already going to do this. We're going to do the hot list.
He's on the path to the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, John Summerall is going to be probably the guy that would be targeted.
That's who I'm thinking. That's who I'm thinking. Yeah. That's why I just wanted to get y'all's opinion.
But let's give Hugh a little life here. I agree with Dunaway. If they win this game, they're in a pretty good situation.
I've got them unbeaten and 22 in the country right now.
If they
you don't
win-
fire undefeated coaches who are ranked in the AP poll.
Not that this means anything, Jason, but if Auburn goes and wins this game, all the people that put out these mock playoff brackets, you're going to start seeing Auburn in those. I mean, you got to put them in there if they win this game. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to make the playoffs or that they can hold on to this, but you got to put them what?
It's always been in my
I agree
mock.
with you, but it's just so. I mean, you got A&M the next week.
I know it's tough.
I mean, we saw what they did with Notre Dame. I don't know if Notre Dame is really good or not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but they did go to their house and beat them.
Yep.
But then, you know, I mean, and then Georgia good.
I know. And then Missouri's good.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's. I'm just worried. Like I said, I've been bit too many times. I'm a true Auburn fan, and you just. You just know what's coming.
Have a good shower. Have a good shower, Jason.
Jason, tell your wife. Tell your wife from one girl to another not to shy away from notebook. Okay. Have a good one. See you, man.
Where's Auburn ranked if they win this game? Okay, go ahead, Jim. What'd you need to do?
Our show being brought to you, Joel Klatt at the top of the hour. Our show being brought to you by our friends at the Pants Store, Alabama, Auburn, polo hats, quarter zips, and a lot more. Famous name brands as well. Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle and Roll Tide like the Pants Store. And ladies, of course, they've got the white sneakers, the platforms. We're about to get to the cold temperatures probably in about 3 months. I'm kidding. And probably about a month. Fall boots are there for you. The rompers and the perfect dresses. Free alterations, free gift wrapping. Pants Store, whether you go in person, Huntsville, Auburn, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, or online anywhere, pantsstore.com. Brownie.
Where's Auburn ranked? It was my question if they win this thing.
Okay, well, they're going to be in front of Oklahoma. I think Utah or Texas Tech is going to be behind them. One of those is going to lose. Indiana or Illinois is probably behind them.
Yep.
I think Michigan, there's a good shot. I think they're probably 14, 13, 14.
This gets them in the top 15, probably. Yeah, okay. I think that's about right.
Key stat in this game for Oklahoma, if they hope to pull the upset, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, -5 in the turnover margin. Auburn's yet to turn it over. And they pressure the quarterback, 10th best in the country so far. And, again, they've played Michigan. 45% of their snaps, they are pressuring the quarterbacks. And I gave you the numbers that Arnold has not been good, according to Pro Football Focus, against the pressure. That is a stat that is a path to victory if Auburn can't hold up protection for Jackson Arnold. 45% pressure rate from Brent Venables.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be ironic that he goes back to the battleground that he was sacked so many times last year, and it's his former team that is now putting the pressure on him. This Oklahoma defense, I said it yesterday, the obvious is how much improved the offense is with Mateer and Arbuckle calling those plays, but the defense just gets steadily better each and every week.
It's only 3 games, but it's also been 2 inferior opponents in those 3 games. Auburn is 101st in the nation in sacks allowed. Only worst team in the SEC is South Carolina. So 7 sacks get you 101st in the nation out of 136 teams. It's not a place you want to be on the road where communication can be an issue against a team that gets after the quarterback the way Oklahoma does.
To me, this is simple. If Auburn can run the football, they're going to win. If they can't, they're not going to win this game. And Oklahoma's defense has been really, really as good as Auburn's been running the football, 16th nationally, 240 yards per game. Oklahoma has been equally good stopping the run. They've only given up 1 rushing touchdown all year long.
Before LT and Tyler tell us about Michelson and the viewing menu, our friends at Way to Wellness jumpstart your weight loss with one simple visit, a free, no-obligation consultation with Leslie and her board-certified team if you go to aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's Way to Wellness, your portal there. You'll get that free consultation. There's no contract, and there's no sign-up fees. A variety of different ways to help you lose weight. That includes the injection therapy that is so popular, meal replacements, dietary plans. Also, they have these protein bars that I use for lunch to keep from bad snacking. They have meal plans and diet plans, eating habits that can help you if you've got sleep apnea and a lot of other things. Just see what they offer at planforme.com. Planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call if you've been procrastinating, thinking, figuring out if LASIK is right for you. Very simple. All you got to do is call that number, ask for Amy Toe. The next round, Cynthia. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. I got the procedure done over 2 decades ago. I still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, tonight in theaters, we've got a couple new releases. The one I will be seeing tonight is called Him. This is the one that I'm pretty sure you guys have been seeing a lot of advertisements for because it is a football movie produced by Jordan Peele. A young athlete descends into a world of terror when he's invited to train with a legendary champion whose charisma curdles into something darker. It stars Tyreek Withers, Marlon Wayans, and Julia Fox.
Okay, can we fast forward 24 hours from now when Tyler's like, I don't know what I watched last night. It was absolutely awful. You guys were right.
That's what he's going to say?
Yeah. My just the trailer makes it look like the veteran quarterback, Wayans, who I didn't think you could make look scary.
Right.
He looks like one of the nicest, funniest guys in the world. Looks scary. Sold his soul to the devil to reach the heights he's reached in pro football.
Him centers on a promising young football player invited to train at the isolated compound of a dynasty's team's aging QB1.
Tom Brady.
Legendary quarterback Marlon Wayans takes his protege on a blood-chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, power, and the pursuit of excellence at any cost. And currently, after 32 reviews, it's got less of a tomato meter score than the reviews at 31%.
Is that bad?
That's awful. And you can tell by the trailer it's going to be awful. But I hope it's good for you.
Well, I hope I enjoy it. We've got a big, bold, beautiful journey. So this might be more up Jim's alley. Through a surprising twist of fate, single strangers Sarah and David get to relive important moments from their respective pasts, illuminating how they got to where they are in the present. And it stars Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell.
Oh, anything with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that's a good start.
And Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I'm good on both of those.
Good start with Margot Robbie.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And then we've also got a new Netflix series called Black Rabbit. A rising star restaurateur is forced into New York's criminal underworld when his chaotic brother returns to town with loan sharks on his trail. And that's got Jude Law and Jason Bateman.
I like almost anything Jason Bateman does, but this one has been a tough sell on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it has been.
I've been excited about this since they announced it like 18 months ago.
I'm going to give it a chance, but it's been a tough sell on me.
Now, you know, the problem is, like, looking at some of the trailers, it looks cheap. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like they didn't put a lot of budget into it, which you know they had to have.
And I always try to help out the guys. So if you just want to impress your lady when you get home today, just say, hey, how did you like the season finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty? Stuck the landing last night. I was disappointed we didn't see I don't want to ruin it. But
oh, yeah, no spoilers.
The Summer I Turned Pretty. Really, really good. All right, that's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Joel Klatt coming up on the other side of the show today, being brought to you by the fine folks at the Inverness Country Club LT.
Hey, they've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social membership all the way to the golf membership. Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Childcare is also a big plus. You and your day want to go play a little golf. Guess what? You can drop the kid right there, knowing they're safe on site. The best days happen at Inverness. Take a tour of this unbelievable club now. Call Aaron today, 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
This hour of the Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
One of the biggest games in the country this weekend is the big noon kickoff, 11 a.m. on Fox, Texas Tech and Utah. And winner of this game, Inside Track Big 12 Championship game at College Football Playoffs. Big one brought to you by our friends at MyBookie.
MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. When you sign on with code NEXTROUND, you get that sign-on bonus up to the bet-back bonus up to $500. They cover your first bet up to $500. We will talk all the games with our buddy Joel Klatt, Fox Sports. Normally on Mondays. He had a conflict. He'll be back on Mondays. You love him on Mondays. He'll be back there, but a rare Thursday appearance by Klatt. What is up, Klatt? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. Texas Tech I've talked a lot about them in the offseason. It's kind of one of my adopted teams. Simply because I just want to see if you can legitimately buy your way into the national championship discussion. They've got a billionaire who's like,
we've sent it in the SEC for 10 years.
So for those keeping score, I don't think we're 45 seconds in before Klatt takes a shot at the SEC. Texas Tech is not exactly a college football blue blood, Klatt, but they are spending the money in the NIL. It's a fascinating model they've got.
Yeah, I don't think all that different from. I don't think that we quite view it the same when it's Tech non-blue blood, non-traditional, and we're like, oh, they're trying to buy their way in when the blue bloods have spent, it was reported Ohio State. I won't even go SEC. Ohio State spent, $20 million last year on their roster. And granted, that was mostly to retain their roster, but they went out and got Judkins and Howard and Caleb Downs. And, and we don't put that in the same bucket as we do when it's Texas Tech. And we feel like somehow they're like, infringing upon, college football royalty by trying to come in here and build themselves up. I think as I talk with Joey and the guys down there, they're trying to compete to the best of their abilities with the rules that are currently in practice. And they're doing that. They knew they needed to get better on the defensive side because the offense was fine. They could go play with anybody offensively in the Big 12. And now their defense is a lot better. They spent, I thought, pretty smart dollars on the defensive line. When I'm looking at the ability to rush the passer and I'm watching film and I'm taking notes, these guys just continue to stick out. Romello Height, the transfer from Georgia Tech, really good player. David Bailey, the transfer from Stanford, really good player. Skylar Gill Howard, he was a kind of a no one in the portal, and yet he comes in and he plays one of their defensive line positions. He came from Northern Illinois, and these guys are making life difficult on opposing offenses. And I legitimately think Tech and Utah, by the way, I think they're both closer to top 10 programs than the rankings suggest. And I can't wait for this game. But yeah, the question about like building yourself up, I guess. And I'm not pushing back. It's not a bad question. My question back would be like, what? If you're a fan of Tech, don't you expect them to do this? Like, if you're a fan of any team, shouldn't you expect your team to do this?
Yeah, I guess my point, the how I differentiate them in Ohio State is Ohio State's always been there, right? And I'm just saying, can you buy your way into the club? Can you go to the exclusive club that is Ohio State
Oregon's
and Alabama?
Been trying to do it.
They have been, and they haven't been able
trying to do it for years.
Yeah, it's hard to do, obviously.
Oklahoma State tried to do it.
They did.
And got close. All of them have gotten close. And Oregon might reach the mountaintop before it's all said and done. They're the one with the endless pockets. I think that's a great question. And now you've got blue bloods that are trying to get themselves like back in. Right. USC. They're like, okay, we're trying to climb back into the game. But right now, if you're not spending, you're not competing. Period.
Because you brought up the SEC, I'm going to ask this question for a friend. A friend wants to know, Joel, right now your top 5 quarterbacks in the SEC.
No, Arch is not in my top 5.
Okay, all right, good.
We'll let it go right there. Look,
is that all you wanted? You wanted me to get to 5 without Arch?
You were scoffing me up. I brought up Ty Simpson.
I did,
and you scoffed, and then I said,
I would have done the same thing if I were you. I would have called me out right away.
Well,
you guys
let me ask you this though.
To ask me a different question.
I threw a softball
before we went right there. You softened it up.
I think that you respect Sarkisian as far as his play calling as much as anyone out there. And Arch coming into the season, it looked like if you're going to get rid of a guy like Quinn Ewers, Arch is going to be really good. So it is baffling. It's baffling when you play UTEP and you have 10 straight incompletions. It's baffling in this system you're only completing 55% of your passes. What do you think is wrong right now? Is it just between the ears, and do you think he gets this thing right?
So it's 55% overall. It's 46% when he's throwing the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Jeez.
Not 10 yards now. Like, normally we differentiate 10 yards or more. No. Just beyond the line of scrimmage, it's 46%. So, I'm eating crow here. I'm going to agree with you. And, Arch has been really bad. And I went back and I watched all the attempts. And here's my best. Number one, I don't know what's going on. Guys, the offense isn't quite as good around him as the offense was a year ago. They're banged up at running back. The offensive line's not great. There's a little bit of pressure, but not a significant amount of pressure. And so you try to take all of that under consideration. But I will tell you this. He is out of rhythm and off time. He's ahead of the offense. Almost every snap, he's ahead of the offense, because I'm a big believer, and I know Sark is as well, timing plus spacing equals completions. So the picture that the route concept is providing and the timing with which the quarterback is trying to play, they have to marry up, and those are like puzzle pieces. And that's an old West Coast system from Bill Walsh. That's kind of that equation. And then timing plus ball placement equals yards after the catch. So that's like the next domino. In order to get yards after the catch. Well, the quarterback's feet are the timing mechanism. And so I know it changes a little bit out of shotgun, but if you're just under center, there's a quick 3 and firm. There's a quick 3 and close. There's a quick 5 and firm. There's a quick 5 and close. There's a big 5 and close. There's a quick 7 and firm. There's a quick 7 and close. There's a big 7 and close. There's all these different timings. So those are dropbacks, right? Number of steps in the dropback. And every concept is married to one of those timings because of the specific timing of the picture that is created. Well, Arch is ahead of the picture constantly, all the time. He's ready to throw, and there's nothing being developed. So there's a total disconnect between either the timing created or the fact that Arch is ready to move on. And then because of that, his eyes go down and he starts to feel pressure that isn't quite there, and he starts to move and he's off balance, and then he jumps at his throw and his left foot is way too far outside left. So he's actually throwing staggered versus in line. So he doesn't get the rotation necessary to get his arm over the top. So his arm dips down 3/4, and then all of a sudden it floats down low, and then he's dirting balls, and it's like this never-ending series of dominoes that start to cascade over, all because the rhythm of his drop back and the rhythm with which he's playing within his feet is totally off. So is it fixable? I don't know. Like, does it all of a sudden unlock one game and he starts to feel the rhythm? Like Cool Runnings, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But that's to me the issue. So people can disagree with that, but when I watch it, that's what I see, is a cascading series of dominoes that start with the fact that the timing of the offense is totally off.
And it's so funny to see that name on the back of the jersey, Manning, because I always thought Peyton Manning had the most textbook, weirdest looking, but to me, he looked like he was an animated how you throw a football. He always looked so textbook on how he threw a football, and Arch now is so off that.
And remember, Manning, if you think back, and you can even pull up clips, Peyton got way over his front foot. Like, when he threw, like, everything came through, and he would almost get on his front toe. It would almost be like he was coming all the way over his front foot. When you watch Arch throw, he puts that front foot out way out front left and never even gets close to it. And it acts as like a stop, like a tripod. And then he can't even get to his front foot. So he never goes over it. And there's never any follow through. The ball's up, the ball's down, the ball's inaccurate. So again, like the way he's playing technically, poor. The way he's playing from a decision-making standpoint, off rhythm and off time. His feet, not in... The fix is there. You can become better at all of those things. You really can. And I would assume that it will get better, but right now it's not very good.
If only there was an off-season academy he could go to in Louisiana,
right. Good instruction
with a lot of quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Klatt, serious question though. Can you win a championship with average play from Arch? It's a really good defense.
No.
Okay.
Not when you see the way Tennessee's playing offensively and Georgia is able to answer the bell and play offensively. Not with the way that A&M looked offensively. Texas's defense is very good. There's no doubt, but they're not going to go through the SEC schedule and win, 17-13. I don't think that that's available. This is not 2011-12, anymore, or 2008 and 9. Like, that's not going to be afforded them. It's my same issue with LSU right now. It's like, hey, I know you've won some big games, but you don't look like the teams that can go out there. That Georgia-Tennessee game opened my eyes. Now, granted, I remember very well when if you played a game like that, that was an indictment on every defense in your entire conference. Remember that when you guys used to do that to the Big 12? But that's okay. Now it's just a great offensive game, and it was. And Gunnar Stockton's fourth down throw was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. And Aguilar was answering the bell. But you cannot win a championship if your quarterback plays like Arch is playing, or Nussmeier is playing, or Lagway is playing. Just not yet. That's not going to happen.
So I'm going to be DJ Durkin. I walk into my defensive meeting this week at Auburn, and I look around to all my assistants, and I say, okay, guys, how do we stop John Mateer this week? So answer that question for me.
So I know this is going to sound crazy, but Michigan was close because they totally took away the run game with the running backs. And then the pressure that was being applied was like this. Like, do you know how many times, guys, if you watch the film, Mateer gets the ball away like just in time, or escapes a free rusher? Well, that's all you can do as a defensive coordinator. So if you're DJ Durkin, that's all you can do is put your players in position to succeed. So I would look at the Michigan game plan and just try to bank on the fact that, hey, I think it's going to be hard for John Mateer to put a cape on his back time and time again. And I'm going to put him in a position where he has to do that. So the number one thing that Auburn has to do is take away the running backs for Oklahoma. And then early in that game, I think that you've got to be able to defend on the edge. And in particular, take away some of that, what I would say, lateral game, some of the shots down the field, and try to force this totally onto Mateer. My fear for Auburn, though, is this seems like a game that could be a fairly evenly matched game, fairly evenly matched. And I think they're both good teams. And, generally games like that, guys, come down to quarterback play. Well, right? Like, who are you taking at quarterback in this game?
Well,
I would take Mateer.
I mean,
yeah.
We
right.
Yeah.
I'll save the graphic. I'll take Arnold.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think it's based on what we have seen, Klatt, over the last couple of years. It is Mateer. It's not even close. That could change Saturday, but it's Mateer right now.
Maybe. And Venables and that defense and that staff, more importantly, it's not just that they get to study Jackson Arnold, for the last couple of years. They know intimately what he struggles with. Intimately. In fact, it drove them nuts, right? We can't do this or that. What is he? So I think that the advantage is clearly with OU. Now, I firmly believe Auburn could go win the football game. There's no doubt about it. It's not a foregone conclusion, but there's just a lot of advantages that make me lean towards Oklahoma in this game.
Joel Klatt is with us, college football analyst, Fox Sports. You'll see him on the Big Noon Kick, Texas Tech at Utah, coming up this Saturday on Fox. He joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag, code next round. When you sign on at MyBookie.ag, and that code is going to get you that bet back bonus up to $500. You make your first bet, they cover it up to $500. If you lose, right back into your account, and you can go again. That's when you sign up and use code next round at MyBookie.ag. Texas A&M went on the road and got a win over Notre Dame.
That looks good, man. Craver looks incredible. That dude is fast.
He can fly.
Yeah. There was an obvious hold at the end of that game. It says here it was an SEC crew that missed it. I don't know if that contributed to the win.
I mean,
have you had anything to say about that this week,
struggle late.
Have you had anything to say about that SEC crew missing that call late? I think I saw you all over the place this week.
No, it doesn't have anything. People think that I was taking a shot at the SEC crew. No, it had nothing to do with the SEC crew. In general, I think late game officiating frustrates me because I don't think that you need to totally swallow the whistle. But at the same time, I don't want you to make yourself a part of a 50-50 play that could go either way. So to me, it's like a spectrum, right? If there's an 85-15 or a 90-10 call where it's like, hey, that's pretty clear and obvious, and it's obviously impacting the play, then the call needs to be made. And that was an obvious hold. He tackled him right there. The pressure's going to show up right in the face of the quarterback. Needs to be called. On the previous set of downs, there was a hold on the opposite side, defensive holding, that needed to be called and was. And rightly so, because they tackled him in the defensive backfield. So you can't tell me like, well, the obvious call with a minute left has to be called, but with 8 seconds left, we're going to swallow the whistles. It is a general officiating frustration of mine. It has nothing to do with what conference and the affiliation of the conference that the officials were from.
Notre Dame is 0-2 now. It's not an extremely challenging schedule ahead of them, but they have really no margin for error at all.
Yeah. I mean, they have to win out.
Yeah.
They have to win out. And then they have to hope that Miami is as good as we think that they are.
Right.
And maybe A&M is as good as we think that they are. Because here's the thing. If Notre Dame is, let's just say, the constant here will be that they win out. All right? Like, I think that they're good enough to do so. Maybe they stumble, but let's just say that they're 10-2. Hypothetical scenario. 10-2 versus with your 2 losses being against 8-4 Miami, not in the ACC championship game, and 7-5 Texas A&M, barely bowl eligible, is a lot different. I mean, light years, hemispheres different than 10-2. Your losses against ACC champ Miami, and on the doorstep or in the SEC championship game A&M.
Yes.
So Notre Dame's path, while it's in their control because they've got to run off 10 straight victories, largely isn't in their control because I think it lies completely in the hands of Miami and Texas A&M and how they look moving forward and where they're able to go ultimately. Because in the argument, the entire argument is going to be, well, they lost 2 games early, close. Well, how good were those teams? So to me, it's all about Miami and A&M.
I know he's underachieved in year 4, Lincoln Riley at USC, but Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, even the off-brand quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and Miller Moss is starting for undefeated Louisville. Jaden Maeva, I wanted to get to him. First of all, what makes Lincoln Riley such a good quarterback coach? And Maeva, I thought he would be more Miller Moss, Spencer Rattler, but I'm starting to think he's an elite quarterback.
He's been terrific, and quietly so. And I think not many people on the eastern side of the country are wanting to even look at USC at this point, but they're actually pretty good. And the blueprint that they're following is more in line with what Oklahoma followed when Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma. Maeva is a terrific talent, there's no doubt, and he developed a lot in this offseason. The game that he's starting to show me on the field now is different than what he showed late last season when he was getting onto the field. That offense is obviously quarterback friendly. Lincoln Riley famously always says to me, I say like, well, tell me about this and that and how it helps the quarterback. And he just always says to me, he's like, listen, if your system isn't a quarterback friendly system, then you need a new system. Because that position is so important. And I think that the clarity that he gives his quarterbacks in terms of having answers based on what the defense gives you is what develops them so well. It's actually interesting because the guy that played more outside of the offense than any of them is Caleb Williams, and he's the one struggling most to try to move forward out of that offense. Everybody else, like Baker, gave himself over to the system and then would play on top of the system, at times. Same with Hurts, same with Kyler, same with Miller Moss, obviously, because, he maybe doesn't have the talent of the other guys. But I think that's what makes it so effective. And real quick, the blueprint at Oklahoma, Riley's MO was that they were number 1 in the country during that span in rushing yards per attempt. No one really realizes that, but number 1. Rushing yards per attempt. And then their quarterbacks would sit between like 3 and 8 in terms of in the country, their total passing mark. And that's exactly where USC is right now. So they're following the blueprint of getting back to the run game, allowing their quarterback to be dynamic. Their defense is a lot better than it was a couple of years ago. They've got a weird game against Michigan State that's going to kick at 8 local in LA, 8 p.m. Michigan State's playing at a body clock of 11 p.m., which means the fourth quarter is going to start at something like 1:15, 1:30 a.m. Eastern time, which is wild. So they've got that game this week, and then an absolute monster against Illinois. And we'll see if Illinois can beat Indiana this week in Bloomington.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm in role play mode today, but Okay, I don't know if UCLA is interested in any of these guys, but if UCLA,
My answer is no.
If UCLA walked in and asked Dan Mullen, Jed Fish, and Kenny Dillingham to leave your jobs and come work there, which one would go? Would any of them take it? Would you advise any of them to leave UNLV, Arizona State, and Washington to go to UCLA?
UNLV.
Yeah, you would. Dan Mullen, you would leave and go there.
I mean,
Okay.
Dan would. I don't think the other two would go.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Would you take the job? Would
Clearly
you leave,
not Jed.
Would you leave Fox?
Would I? No. No. No.
Yeah, you sport the Rose Bowl more than anyone.
That's right. You're a big Rose Bowl guy.
You'd be there for I don't know how many home games they play.
It'd be
no
your
fans.
office, yeah.
You get 7 games in that beautiful stadium.
Yeah, don't you have, how many kids do you have?
3 boys.
Yeah, that would help their attendance tremendously, just 3 kids showing up.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, so, I mean,
Jeez. Oh, man. I feel bad. I actually have gotten to, and God bless them. And obviously we lost Terry Donahue a little over a year ago. He was the UCLA coach that had a lot of success, at UCLA, and went to several Rose Bowls. And we've become really good friends with their family. Live near them here in Southern California. And I always see them, and in particular his daughter, and it's just like, they want UCLA to be relevant and good so badly, and it hurts their heart to see where it's at. And I don't know what the answer for UCLA is. They don't have the finances. I don't think. Listen, the Rose Bowl is the wrong home stadium for them. I am a Rose Bowl honk. You guys know that. I love the Rose Bowl game. But that stadium for UCLA, that far away from their campus and that cavernous, when they can only get 25 or 30,000 people maybe into the stands, they need to rethink that. And I know they don't have a ton of money, but there's a little, I think it's called Franklin Field. There's a field on their campus right in Westwood that they could do something similar to that. They could build a 28,000, seat stadium. Now, parking would be a nightmare, and then they would have to deal with all the HOAs around them that have all the power in the world. But, something like that would be much better for them, because if you bring a recruit to the Rose Bowl and you're like, hey, check it out, look where we get to play, he's going to look around and be like, no. I don't know what the answer is for them. It's not me, I can tell you that.
In the chat, I was going to ask you this anyway, but they wanted us to ask, so I will again. Ty Simpson, I know the games have been blowouts, so maybe it's not attracted your attention. This guy's not letting the ball touch.
No, it has.
He's not letting the ball touch the ground right now. So what do you see in Ty Simpson?
He has played some of the best football in the country the last 2 weeks, in particular last week against Wisconsin. Even the drop from Ryan Williams in the end zone was an absolute dime. It was a beautiful throw. I appreciated the game plan a lot more from Alabama in terms of utilizing Ryan Williams. So he lined up outside a lot more than he lined up in the slot. But it wasn't just about where he lined up, because he actually got more of his targets when he lined up in the slot, guys. But all of his catches were on outbreaking routes, and they ended up being outside the numbers. And that's where he's magical. You and I both know it. When this guy is in space, that's where he is magical. His one drop was his one target over the middle of the field, and you just wonder, after he got beat up against Florida State, there was a kind of a converging defense right there, and Ty put it on the money. Listen, I don't know what happened against Florida State. I really don't. Maybe we'll look back on that game and we'll just think to ourselves, well, actually, Florida State was ridiculously good and Alabama didn't play their best. Maybe that's the case, because that's the way it looks in hindsight. But I don't want to play Alabama right now. If Ty Simpson is protected, he will carve you up. The whole issue with Florida State was their offensive line played absolutely bootleg. They were terrible. And now that they're protecting Simpson, when he's protected without pressure, he's almost 80%. I think he's 76% throwing the football, and it looks really, really good. So I'm starting to be bullish on Alabama. The effort level stressed me out after the first week. I didn't love the game plan. I didn't know the direction of what things were going to go. But man, there was a proud program the last couple of weeks, albeit against lesser competition. And trust me, Wisconsin is not a very good football team. They just aren't. They're maybe going to be a 3-win football team during the course of this year. However, with that being said, like there's some real positives to build on for Alabama.
Hey, Klatt, I don't think Clemson's tired of winning, but if they are, they can send Dabo on his way. He's 55. He's just learning how to coach, according to him. What was your take on Dabo whining behind the podium after the 1-2 start?
I would rather, I would rather you get a, I don't want to say abrasive, but like I would rather the Brian Kelly press conference or the Sark press conference when you're getting defensive of your team rather than of yourself. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm a firm believer that in the college game, the coach, if I was the coach at UCLA, I would be communicating to my team through the media all the time. The way that I talked about them, the way that I defended them. I would be trying to build the culture of the locker room so that I was earning their trust by the way that I talked to the media. I have this strong opinion. I don't care what the media thinks of these coaches or what they think they deserve, or this guy's like, Brian Kelly was a jerk. I don't care. I don't care, because Brian Kelly's obligation is not to the media at all. And I know that might be controversial. I'm not sure. But his obligation is to his team. And when he defended them like that, they loved it. When Sark bit the head off the reporter in defense of Arch loved it, and they were doing it for that purpose. And then when you go out there and you do it the way that Dabo did it, it just feels different, and it feels more transactional, I guess.
Almost like he would try to outrun his team going down a hill before games. Almost like that.
Look at you.
I know. It's a long-running debate between these two.
Yeah.
Dunaway's big
Dabo.
Yeah, Dunaway's big Dabo guy. They grew up together.
We grew up together.
Lance has never liked Dabo, so it's been an ongoing fight.
Well, Dunaway goes to church. Lance might not.
Oh wow, Lance goes to church.
I actually do, Joel. But
come on, Joel.
I said might. I said might. I don't know.
I don't know what that had.
I don't know.
Hey, and I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner. So
we all are. We all
Yeah,
fall short of the glory of God. Lance, that was. If that offended you, I very much apologize.
No, all good.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm with you, though. It just seems like Dabo, it's more about himself. He is the third highest paid coach in football. The fact of the matter, two guys in front of him are the last two that have won national championships, active coaches. And we sent this graphic out yesterday. He's 15-17 against winning teams over the last 5 years.
That's not very good.
No.
There's something wrong there, because they should be way better. Their talent composite suggests they should be way better. Their experience level suggests they should be better. There's a giant disconnect going on at Clemson with the way that they're playing and what's in their roster. So I don't know what the answer is. I can tell you this: they don't have a chance of beating Miami or Florida State. That conference is flipped on its head for me right now. And now I look at Miami and I'm like, oh, I don't know if anyone's beating Miami in that conference. So I think Miami is a bona fide, maybe top 4 team in the country and might get one of these buys and win the ACC and be right there in the end.
Yeah, but see, Mario Cristobal never bought me an RC cola and a moon pie back in the day in Alabaster.
Touche.
Yes.
Touche. Yeah, see?
So down with Mario, up with Dabo.
Yes. I'm still beating myself up. I'm sorry, Lance.
No. Come on. I mean, you've hung out with me before, and I've got a little wild side to me. I've tried to temper it down over the last couple of years. Brown told me last night on the way home from trivia, this is the best version of myself he's ever seen. Did you say that?
I did. It's the best version of Lance I've ever seen. Yeah.
I still get a little wild, but I was telling him I haven't been truly intoxicated in a while. I like to still have cocktails, but I'm trying to pick my spots now.
Look at you. Yeah. Listen, I encourage that direction and support that. And even though I haven't spent any time with you over the last couple of years, well done, sir. Oh, bettering yourself and moving towards a better version of you is always the goal. So good job, man.
Hey, if Lane Kiffin can do it, right? Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, he did. I mean,
Hey, listen. He did.
Yeah.
Listen, I had to. I'm like chief center. Let me.
Oh,
raise
the
my hand
Fleming
first.
story is incredible. It really is.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm just over 14 years sober. You know, I mean, it wasn't because I decided one day like, yeah, maybe this isn't for me. It was like, hey, this is definitely not for me. You know, I'm gonna wind up in a cell or a gutter. So. I hope I didn't offend you.
You did not at all. Very, very, very difficult to offend me.
This show quite difficult to offend. Trust me, if we could have been offended, we'd be off by now.
But what I love about you is that you recognized it right there and you're owning up to it instantly. Some people would have tried to brush that off or anything. It's very manly, very godly. I think I may have said something that offended Lance, and
No,
I'm just saying. I really am. I'm being serious. I'm not joking. I'm admiring the fact that he is like, I hope I didn't step across the line. I want to clear this up right now. I think that's a great trait.
Well, I know you take your faith seriously, and that is great. But look, I think you offended me much more last week when you scoffed at half the SEC quarterbacks being better than Arch Manning. I'm just saying.
You know what?
I won't bring religion up next week when we talk, but I was going to bring that up today.
I would take Bo Perbula. I would take Ty Simpson. I would take
Taylon Green.
I would take who?
Taylon Green.
Taylon Green tore up. He's leading the nation in total
offense. I would take
offense.
Pavia. I'm not going to Green yet. I would take Pavia.
No, I'd take Green over Pavia.
Yeah.
Green
to play.
Tore up Ole Miss. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch that on film.
I have not. No, I have not.
Go watch that game. He scorched Ole Miss, and that was statistically the best defense in the SEC last year. Ole Miss under Pete Golding.
If he was Sark's quarterback right now,
oh my word,
he would be your Heisman favorite. I believe they would maybe be undefeated. I don't know.
I got to go watch this. I'm sorry. I'm unaware. I have not been.
Yeah, go watch it. Let me know what you think.
He's got some Vince Young in him.
Yeah.
He does.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he was spectacular Saturday night. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Aguilar and Gunnar Stockton were amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, what a fun game.
SEC's got some quarterbacks now. I mean, Arch may not be one of them, but they've got some quarterback play in the SEC, no doubt.
Sure. Even with like Sellers, playing support. By the way, South Carolina looks terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
What's going on in the state of South Carolina? Like, my goodness.
Yeah. Their preseason projections were like Biden job numbers. They were all made up. I figured we'd talk politics.
Religion.
We talk politics at the end. Yeah. I'm trying to get you off the hook, brother.
That's funny.
I'm trying to get you off the hook here.
It's funny because it's true, folks. If you're offended, then that's on you.
Yeah, it comes from the moderate on the show. So there you go. All
right, Texas Tech, Utah. Fox Big Noon Kick Saturday morning. You'll see Klatt, Gus, and the AAG right there in beautiful Salt Lake City. Klatt, have a wonderful weekend. We will talk to you Monday, my friend.
Tip of the cap, folks. I love you guys.
Love
Have
you,
a good
buddy.
one.
We'll see you. Joel Klatt with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline, presented each week by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag, and that's going to get you that $500 bet back bonus. You make a bet, you lose it, they put it right back into your account with MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag. Code next round.
Hey, if you're trying to figure out where you're going to watch Thursday night action with Browns Dolphins taking on the Bills, maybe a little NCAA action with Rice taking on Charlotte, you can do it with our friends at Twin Peaks, home of the signature 29-degree draft. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from the tequila cocktails, a great bourbon category, top shelf spirits, cocktails served over the ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails, round out that adventurous drink menu, second to none. And again, don't forget about the 29-degree drafts served in 3D by those Twin Peak girls running around. Lunch or dinner, make it Twin Peaks.
Hey, we talked about the storms, thankfully, in a lot of ways coming through. We needed the rain in central Alabama, but if you've got storm damage, severe weather can pop up when you least expect it. It did last night. It's why Alabama Power is always ready with the tech and know-how to get your power back on fast. With tools to prevent outages and a team on call 24/7, they are there to keep you safe and in the loop, but you can stay ahead too. Head to alabamapower.com/storm for storm safety tips, how to report an outage, and how to stay updated when storms are coming. That's alabamapower.com/storm.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter @ScottForresterTV.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation and legal services provided are better than any other provider.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
All right, several things to get to in this segment before we get to Dan Orlovsky. So, wow, we're way behind the clock. Show being brought to you by our friend Dr. B. Tell us about Dr. B, and we'll jump into some of these things.
Hey, if you start to thin out a little bit, it doesn't matter how old you are. It could be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, whenever it is. You want to make sure you maintain. Be preemptive on this. That's what I did years ago with Dr. Beckenstein. Not only that, I'm growing some back. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. My hair is more than doubled in thickness. 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. T3hair.net for more information. That test, it's easy, painless, affordable, takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Stop wasting money and critical time while you're losing your hair on products that aren't working. Find out what will work for you. Go see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff, 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
By the way, Lenora Sellers questionable for South Carolina, Missouri this weekend, but Pete Thamel and others reporting he did practice. He did practice yesterday, so he has been part of practice Tuesday and Wednesday, meeting the criteria from the coach to play in the game, and he's listed as questionable.
I would love to see how active he was in these. Is it one of those where Beamer's like, throw a pass in each day, and then I don't have to go back on my word?
Now go sit down.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you 100%, Lance. I'd have him at least walking around out there on the field.
Luke Doty's not going to go to Columbia. This sounds great. You're not going to Columbia and beating those Missouri Tigers. I don't know if you guys saw the graphic, and we can get into it whenever, but Brooks put together that awesome graphic on over the last 2+ years, programs with the most wins, because Missouri is tied for fourth.
Did you give it to Forster for him to pull it up yet?
They had it back there, so
Okay.
I don't know if they've got it or not.
Do it here, since you brought it up here. While you're doing that, Forster, show being brought to you by a couple of great things on the fly here. Breakline. Tell us about Breakline.
Yeah, BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. These great sunglasses, you can get those at BreaklineOptics.com. And great glasses that look like these. They are built to last. These things are so durable. We've tried to break the lenses on their challenge, by the way, not just us trying to break lenses. They told us, go try to break them. So we hammered them into the asphalt outside behind our building. Could not break them. You will not either. These things are built to last, and they're going to look great, and you can save 30% right now at Breakline Optics. BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. Excuse me. These are local people that are doing a...
Yeah, but it's our great lines. You see him trying to break them here.
TNR
Breakline. What now?
BreaklineOptics.com. TNR 30 helps you save.
You just love them
30%.
so much.
I do.
Yeah.
I get choked up every time I talk about
And our friends at New York Butcher Shop.
Hey, great place to pick up. The weekend is almost here. We're here Thursday night. Pick up the steaks, the chicken, the pork, the fresh in-house made sides. Absolutely fantastic. Great selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations for you. The original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Go get in, see Jim and that great staff of butchers. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Do you have the graphic that LT wanted? Okay, here we go. What you got here, LT?
No, so I'm just saying, I brought up the fact that Eli Drinkwitz, we got to put respect on that man's name. 24-6, the same record since the start of 2023 as a team that won the national championship in Michigan. The second best SEC record along with Ole Miss, only behind Georgia, ahead of programs like Alabama and LSU and Tennessee and Notre Dame. Pretty incredible job. I say what you want about the schedule. Fact of the matter is 24-6.
I mean, it's hard to talk about the schedule. I mean, it's an SEC schedule now.
Where's little old Clemson?
Little old Clemson's
21-9.
Yeah. I mean, that's an impressive statistic right there. I can't argue with that one. As a guy that has not been the biggest fan of Eli Drinkwitz, when I look at the fact that 27-3 is the best record over the last 30 games, and that's Oregon, 27-3, and they're 24-6. 26-4 is the best record in the SEC over the last 30 games, and they're second best at 24-6.
Yeah, and look, and I don't think anybody looks at Eli and they're like, man, that is a likable guy. I'm just saying we need to start respecting the coaching a little bit more.
You're right. I got to own this one. I got to own it, man. Look, that number does not lie over the last 30 games.
That gets us to our 4 downs today, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles. Tell us about Bojangles, Brownie.
It can be bow time for you. This high school football tailgate parties or the college football watch parties. Let Bojangles cater those. And you can enjoy those hand-breaded tenders with the great dipping sauces that go with them. And don't forget for breakfast tomorrow, that Bojangles Pork Chop Griller is back. You can go enjoy that. You've missed it. It has missed you. The Pork Chop Griller back at Bojangles, as always. Whether it's the tailgate parties, the college football watch parties, or breakfast tomorrow morning, make it bow time.
First down.
If you were a boxer, what would your walkout song be?
Till I Collapse.
You better win. If that's your walkout song, you better win.
I mean, Eminem, Nate Dogg, great song. Probably my favorite hip-hop song of all time. Just great beat.
God, I don't know,
And there is a little connotation there, right?
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever thought of this one. Never thought of myself as being a boxer. Walkout song. I could absolutely play to the, to the stereotype and make it Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. And they'll always say, he's from Alabama.
Huh, that works.
Would your trunks be the Alabama flag?
100%. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I'd be the Alabama kid.
I would walk out to a specially made techno mix of Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
I thought you come out to a show tune for the Notebook.
Every rose has its thorn. Why you go with that one?
I loved the lyrics. It'd get me fired up,
They are good
and
lyrics.
maybe I'd be a thorn.
A thorn in the side of your opponent.
Maybe that's my nickname in the ring.
Who
Since
was
we're
the,
made up question, Jim the Thorn or Jim the Rose Dunaway.
Who was the fighter that came out in the Mike Tyson with the rose in the mouth? You remember?
I don't.
Was it It wasn't Hurricane McNeely. Was it?
No, I'm not talking about.
Oh,
I'm
Mike
talking about the
Tyson
video.
in the
Punch
video
Out.
game. Oh yeah. Mike Tyson punch out. I
Yeah,
cannot
one of the
remember.
early fighters came out with the rose, always
I
had it in the
remember
teeth.
that. Oh, it was the Italian guy, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. I can't remember his name though. Soda Popinski? Was that his name?
I don't think it was Soda Pop.
Okay.
No.
I can't remember his name. I know who y'all are talking about though.
Second down.
What's your go-to order at a Mexican restaurant?
It used to be just cheese quesadilla, rice and beans, side of pickled jalapenos, but I've started to do the cheese enchiladas. The red sauce with the cheese enchilada is absolutely fantastic. I know Brown says no meat, no meal.
No meat, no meal.
I never eat meat at a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, you don't? I do it every time.
I never.
I always go with like a bean and cheese burrito or a cheese enchilada.
Yeah, so good.
I like fajitas. All right, so there is so y'all are gonna love that I did this.
Because you're selfish.
This plays into the stereotype here that I get cast with on this show, Tyler. I went to a different Mexican restaurant than my normal Mexican restaurant, right? I cheated on my Mexican restaurant. And they had a dish that is exactly what I want, all right? It's the fajita without the peppers and onions. I don't like the peppers and onions.
Does it still got the smoke?
I want the chicken and the steak, right? And then they pour cheese dip on top of it, and they serve it with the tortillas and the rice and beans, right? Everything I want. So I take a photo of it, and I go to my normal Mexican restaurant, show it to the owner, as like, hey, could we put this on the menu? And he goes, oh, that looks good. I was like, no, I mean, I'd like it on the menu. He goes, where did you get that? And I told him the other Mexican restaurant. He goes, yeah, it looks good. It's like, guess we're not getting that one on the menu.
Damn, I cannot believe you went to the owner of the restaurant and said, hey, this is what you need to put on your menu.
It was a suggestion, a recommendation.
I thought there was a bowl they have at your favorite place.
They do, but it doesn't have the tortilla. I guess I could get tortillas with that and be pretty much the
Just
same
has
thing.
tortilla on the sides, and you've got it right
Yeah,
there.
you're right about that. Yeah, and I could just put it in the tortillas. That bowl is good, though.
I can't believe you got it without the peppers and onions.
I don't like all the peppers and onions. I just like the meat and the everything else.
And by the way, your local joint, I never see anybody get fajitas there. People are starting to learn.
I've done it.
Common
Fajitas,
courtesy.
Yeah.
Two chicken tacos.
Don't go to a
for me.
Mexican restaurant.
Fajitas are the most distracting thing you can order.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Third down.
Jason Sudeikis turns 49 today. What's your favorite Jason Sudeikis role?
We Are the Millers. Or I like that, and I liked Horrible Bosses.
Horrible Bosses was good.
Both of those are really good. In fact, they're the only two I can think of him in.
I just like when he was drawing up the diagram in the dirt for Kenny with when Luis Guzman, the cop, pulled him over. So, Kenny, you're going to go over there behind the rock, and you're going to... And Kenny's like, whoa. What happened here?
You know, Ted Lasso's good, but not a movie.
Oh, well, that's why I put role.
Oh, okay. Ted Lasso then. Ted Lasso, really good.
I mean, that's going to go down as his.
Look, he's made a fortune of it.
Yeah.
It was, this is going to sound so bad, it was so freaking positive every single time. It was impossible.
Fourth down.
I found it haunting, his relationship with his wife and his dad, and the troubles that the women were having on the show, even the owner who had everything going, and then the young guy who was the ball boy who went to be the successful head coach. He had his own demons and having to go back. I found a lot of darkness in this.
How many seasons is it? Have you watched it all?
I think it was 4.
Oh, is it over?
Yeah.
I made it through 1.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're doing a reboot with some of the side guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Fourth down. James Gandolfini would have been 64 years old today. So give me your Mount Rushmore of all-time greatest TV characters.
Ooh, wow.
Well, it's got to be Walt White. It's got to be Tony Soprano. I mean, those two for sure are on there.
Man, that is a tough one, Tyler.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Like, I would have George Costanza in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways you could go.
I would say save that one for a mystery fifth hour next time we do one.
Yeah.
Make that a mystery
I
fifth
think
hour.
Michael Scott for some people.
Do a whole episode of that.
Yeah.
That's
We've
a good
still
one.
got to do the heist.
Yeah, we do have to do that one too. So there's two. We've got two mystery fifth hours.
Well,
Write that down somewhere.
Yeah,
Just
somebody
because
keep notes of this.
A
is what I was
playoff
thinking.
of that.
got
I
it.
don't think Marty Bird is ever going to make that. But me and Brown got into a discussion where he said Marty Bird was a bad guy or wasn't a good guy.
Yes,
I completely disagree
He
with
was
that.
laundering money for the drug cartel. I know he had to do it.
It
to
was
save his
either we're
money.
going to put you in a chemical barrel,
I know.
or you're going to launder money for us.
I know.
And then once you go down that slippery path, there's
That's
nothing you
right.
can do. Marty
That's right.
Bird was not a bad
You
guy. His
start-
wife was.
You start overseeing people get killed and things like that. I mean, it's tough.
All right, we get to Dan Orlovsky at the top of the hour. That's our four downs with Tyler right there. The show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at Coca-Cola. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. For you Auburn fans, big game this weekend. You enjoy the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. And also, our friends at Odie's, where the question last night, LT, was...
The question last night, let me get the exact wording for it, Dunaway. It was, there is one American state, the only one to share a border with just one other state. What is that American state? It only shares a border with just one other state. Tyler, you're more than welcome to chime in here if you think you know it.
It's America's forehead.
Yeah. The first one that would pop out to me would be Maine.
It is Maine.
Boom.
Very, very good. These are the little things you learn when you go to Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. We do it at the original location, 8 o'clock, the Crestline location, newest location in Edgewood. Great food from Rodney Davis at both locations. Stop in for lunch or dinner. Ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Birmingham Institution. Get in, see Will Avery and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
All right, so Orlovsky coming up at the top of the hour. Two sound bites I wanted to get in the show to make sure we got these. One of them, number 6, this is Lane Kiffin. A huge game for Tulane. There's a scenario, if you're not paying attention, Tulane and South Florida, they do not play each other in the American regular season. They can meet in the American championship game, which right now a lot of people would believe to be a college football play-in game. Winner of Tulane and South Florida in the American championship game, meeting for the first time. Winner goes to the college football playoff. A long way to that if Tulane pulls another upset this week. Tulane at Ole Miss. Here's what Lane Kiffin thinks of our favorite young up-and-coming coach, John Sumrall.
What is it about a Sumrall team that's maybe what gives y'all maybe some troubles? Because that Troy game a few years ago, it was a slow start, so you pulled away in the second half.
Yeah. I just think that they play really physical. It's a really defensive team. You can see it's a defensive head coach by the way how physical they play, by the way that they tackle. You can see his footprint on that. And with the quarterback now, they've become even more of a problem as a team because he's so dynamic and can do so many things. I think he set school record Saturday with most rushing touchdowns or something. It's pretty amazing in your third game there, and then coming as late as he did, after the portal window was closed. So they got a really good team and really challenging, and I'm sure they were watching last week's film.
Yeah, he goes on to say that he believes John Sumrall, this was the SEC teleconference yesterday, that John Sumrall will be an SEC coach next year.
I pick your job.
That's getting some people getting fired. A lot of people think Kentucky. He's got a history there at Kentucky.
Yeah, and I think
Florida.
Lane Kiffin's probably thinking Auburn.
Yeah.
Because Lane likes to take those shots at you.
Those veiled shots at you.
In Auburn. Hey, look, he is a defensive coach, but, look, they've got to step it up defensively. Over the last 2 weeks, although 2 wins, they've given up 48 points and almost 900 yards of offense in wins against Duke and then going back to the South Alabama game. Now they step it up in competition. This is a high hill, but if Tulane was to pull this off, boy, they are in the driver's seat.
Ole Miss has won 14 straight in the series. Tulane hasn't won against Ole Miss since 1988. We'll talk to Dan Orlovsky when we come back on the other side. Brown spotlight still to come on the show. All that brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap today. That takes us to the top of the hour. Tell us about Gutter Cap.
Cap it, don't snap it. Call our good friend Chris Stewart, 205-823-2212. Right now, an incredible deal for the Next Round viewer or listener. Just mention to Chris Stewart, the Next Round sent you. The last thing you want to do after a long week of work is to get the ladder out, get on the roof, you slip, you fall, snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Gutter Cap, patent aluminum cover system, fits over most existing gutters. It will keep everything out except the water. Make sure those gutters are clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. For more information, guttercapbirmingham.com.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we roll on in the final hour of the show, being brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. If you are in the Vestavia area, on your way down for Vestavia and Thompson tomorrow night, make plans to either pick up some of the wonderful Champy's chicken on the way to the stadium there, or maybe get there early and have a late lunch, early dinner at Sterling's Place on Highway 119 in Alabaster for over a decade. The chicken is brined overnight, cooked to order. It is delicious, whether you like the white meat or the dark meat, juicy to the bone. The hand-cut chicken fingers are so good. We were just talking about favorite Mexican dishes. Well, I love my tamale from the Mississippi Delta. And that's the one you get right there at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. All the great sides and desserts. Perfect for your tailgating this weekend or watching the games at home. It's Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. We've talked a lot of college football. We will get to the NFL when Dan Orlovsky joins us in just a second. But looking ahead to the weekend, it'll be interesting to see who comes out of the Cowboys-Bears game. Cowboys 1-1, Bears 0-2. Ben Johnson and Brian Schottenheimer both saying yesterday that they have no problem with Tom Brady in the pregame interviews, and then they're like, there's nothing we talk about these meetings that the other coaches don't see on game tape. There's nothing we talk about in these meetings. He's like, Schottenheimer even said, everybody in the NFL has everybody else's playbook.
Yeah.
Because you've worked with somebody
That's right.
who's worked with somebody who worked with somebody. We have the playbook from every other NFL team.
When you brought this up, again, the only interesting angle to me is Fox's ability to probably get out of this contract with Tom Brady, where they have massively overpaid him. And I just think with the restrictions, although it's probably not a big deal internally with these other teams, it would be an easy out for Fox.
I mean, I did think about that. You know, when you talk about the playbook thing, like, you've either got to coach this coach somewhere else, or you've got a player you've gotten in free agency or picked up or something like that has played for another team. I mean, it is impossible to keep secrets in that league, I would imagine. And by the way, that's only going to get worse in college football as guys move in the transfer portal.
Is the best game of the weekend the Rams at Philadelphia?
It is on 12 noon on Fox, but I believe it is the best game of the weekend.
Where do you guys sit on that game? Because if you go back and you saw the game in the snow, the divisional game in Philadelphia, the Rams played them, had every opportunity, got in the red zone to win the game, to walk it off, and ultimately they lose the game. Philadelphia goes on, wipes Washington, wipes Kansas City, and wins the championship, wins the Lombardi. Where are you guys on Rams at Philadelphia, though?
I have no opinion on it, but the two places that I read about the game today, one of them was on The Athletic with best bets of the weekend. They were on the Rams, and I think the other one was on Yahoo, and they were on the Rams.
Oh, that scares me.
Well, the Rams
Both
are
of them
catching three.
Were like, the Rams were their favorite plays of the weekend.
Well, I think Philadelphia's playing with the mat on. I think they're pissed off about this tush-push thing.
Right.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about it. Philadelphia didn't exactly, Jalen Hurts was getting, though in a losing effort, a Kansas City defender, Chris Jones, was giving Jalen Hurts the business about his numbers, and Jalen Hurts pointed out there's one number that matters, and we're ahead in that one. But their offense wasn't exactly dynamic, even in that win at Kansas City. As we just mentioned, the Rams, we were just talking about that, +3 at Philadelphia. Tonight, the Miami Dolphins are at Buffalo. The Bills, a 13-point home favorite in that game. You could play those games right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at mybookie.ag, and that's going to get you that $500 bet back bonus. You make your first bet right there, and if you lose up to $500, they're going to cover that for you at mybookie.ag. Right back into your account to play again. Mybookie.ag. Code next round to get that bet back bonus. Welcome in Dan Orlovsky. He joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie. What is up, Dan? How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome. Thanks a lot. Let's talk about tonight's game real quick. I don't do this because I'm a Dolphins fan. Trust me, I have zero expectations for this game other than to get blown out of the water. I saw though that you called this a must-win for Miami. I don't think you can overstate that. It is an absolute must-win for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and obviously, a must-win situation that feels unlikely. It is not a good place to be. You know, you're coming off a week where you played better offensively, and Tua looked a little bit more like himself, and there were some plays the defense is obviously struggling big time. And so you're going up against the team that a lot of people are going, hey, legit Super Bowl contenders, which they are. I just don't think they have the horses to hang with Buffalo. And I think Buffalo is a bad matchup for them. So, it's a results-based business. It just is. And everyone who gets into this business knows it. Doesn't feel good when you're in the type of shoes that Mike McDaniel is. I hope that they figure out a way to get it back on the right tracks, but it's a tall task tonight.
And again, I'm watching you earlier talk about Mike McDaniel's job, or you're asked if his job is on the line tonight. It is a long week, an even longer week, because you don't play again until Monday night. And you know how it works in this league. If you've got time to fire a guy, often they'll fire a guy.
Yeah. And that, like I said, the reality is the NFL is a win now business. And it's crazy how things can go from so good to so dire. Is 2 years ago, it's the number 1 seed going into December. And now you're getting asked questions for job security. And so I still think that Mike's a good coach. I'm a big fan of him, but they've got to win football games.
It's one thing to not punt at home against the Dolphins, but when you do it back-to-back weeks in the NFL, like the Colts did, and do it against that Denver Bronco defense, that is beyond impressive. Where are we right now through 2 weeks with Daniel Jones, Shane Steichen calling these plays with a Tyler Warren and a Jonathan Taylor in that backfield?
Yeah, it's been one of these stories of the season. And I think the thing that stands out is just you're watching how much the coach trusts the quarterback by the way that they're calling plays and when. And they've been so aggressive on early downs throwing the football. So you're not handcuffing them. You're not boxing them into going, okay, if we can get to 2nd and 7, they're very aggressive. And Daniel's playing in a way that we haven't seen Daniel Jones play. Like, the thing that Daniel's always struggled with is under pressure, under moments of panic. He always seems to panic in a bad way and give the ball away, a fumble, a turnover, sack. He's playing under pressure. Like that Bronco game, he was under pressure. He just made big-time play and throw and big-time play after throw. And so that's what's interesting is, like, they've gotten him playing in a way or a style that he really hasn't shown before. And then you're seeing they're talented. They got a lot of really good, talented perimeter players, and you're seeing those guys really start to shine. And so Indy's been very impressive. The question, can it be sustained? It's a fair question. I don't know. I don't know because of the past of Daniel, but it's been wildly impressive to start.
It has not been the sophomore start for Bo Nix that a lot of people around here, his hometown, hoped it would be. But they are 1-1. Now they get the Chargers. That seems like a big game this weekend for me. What do you think of Bo Nix and the Broncos and where they're headed?
Yeah, they should be 2-0. The amount of times that they blew that game on the road in Indy in the fourth quarter, and guys taking turns blowing it with just ridiculous stuff. Not a ticky-tack holding penalty, just preposterous, dumb mistakes. So they should be 2-0. Thought Bo played better. I thought he played cleaner. I still think there were a couple moments when maybe he assumed what the defense was doing or left a clean pocket too soon because of the frenetic and frantic style or personality that he has. It's a huge challenge. I think the Chargers are as good as anybody. We just had them on Monday Night Football, and their defense suffocates you, and Derwin's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and their offense is big. They put multiple big bodies on the field, and they're ultra aggressive on first down with play action passes, and Herbert's healthy. He's throwing the ball up and down the yard, and his legs have been a massive story. So it's a big challenge for Denver. I think they're capable of it. Their defense is going to have to play better than it has. The defense hasn't been what I thought it was going to be. So it's a huge divisional matchup. And if you think about it from the Chargers perspective as well, the Chargers could start the season 3-0 with 3 divisional wins. That would be a enormous jumpstart.
Yeah, indeed. And a leg up on Kansas City, who is now 0-2. They play on Sunday night. Dan Orlovsky is presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round, MyBookie.ag. The Chiefs, a 6.5-point road favorite Sunday night in New York against the Giants. The Chiefs are desperate for a win. And oddly, Russell Wilson's coming off a career passing day for the Giants when he was about to be replaced. What a weird situation that is.
Yeah, part of Russell's success last week was the Cowboys defense was just a mockery, in the amount of blown coverage. But Russell still throws the deep ball remarkably well. And so if he's going to get given opportunity by Kansas City defensively to do that, maybe some of their blitzes, they're going to have a chance. Like, they'll have a chance to hang. Where I am with Kansas City is like they're just struggling right now. There's nothing that they are reliable upon. They don't have an identity offensively. They're getting beat at the line of scrimmage. They're not getting open. Their backs are running with poor vision. I mean, Patrick's trying to carry the team. That's the only I think Travis has done some good things. Everyone points to that dropped interception. But other than that, I think he's done some good stuff. It's just I think that they are real.
I believe we've identified a dead spot on Dan's drive there. It's 2 weeks in a row. I don't know where he is.
Is it the Holland Tunnel?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it gets dark. It seems like we're still light outside. But there's a weird cell situation somewhere in New York City there that grabs us every single week with Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky talking NFL football with us this week, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Brownie.
Yeah, Code Next Round, we were just talking about that Kansas City game. They're a 6.5-point favorite at New York. That is the Sunday night game. We were talking Rams and Eagles. The Rams, a 3-point favorite at the Eagles in that game tonight. Miami, a 13-point favorite at Buffalo. So you can play all those NFL games. College football-wise, it is an interesting weekend in this state because the Auburn Tigers are on the road at Oklahoma. I don't know how much a half a point matters. It has been 6.5. It is now ticked up to 7. Oklahoma now a full touchdown favorite. What does that say to you, Lance, at mybookie.ag?
It tells me there is a lot of what they call the smart money right now on Oklahoma.
Okay.
Smart money don't bet on Thursday.
These guys do it for a living.
That's
They're not going to wait in line.
That's those people throwing their money to keep the lights on at the casino that just plow the fields in Oklahoma. Come on.
Oklahoma favored by 7 in that game, a total of 48 for that one. And
Justin Hokanson, our buddy with Auburn Live, says at practice the other day, one of the songs on the speakers during stretching was Luke Combs, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma.
Ain't no love in Oklahoma. It's a good song. I like that song. So you can play all those games right there at mybookie.ag. Dan is back with us. Was that we were just discussing, was that the Holland Tunnel, Dan, or did we just hit a random bad spot?
No tunnel, but there is something about where our new building is, which is in Hudson Yards in New York, where I go past an area and on your cell phone the satellite thing pops up, so like you're totally off the grid essentially. There must be some protection in some area that I'm at with cell phone service.
That's actually kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, so I think most people, Dan, would agree that Philadelphia's got the best roster out there. If he's not your guy, nobody likes Nick Sirianni. But he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is Nick Sirianni, is he more Bill Walsh or more George Seifert?
Ooh, he's probably more George Seifert. Walsh obviously is so schematically innovative and stylistically like creative and unique. I think Nick has got this really good ability to have relationship and understand what makes this person go and what makes that person go. Unwavering process with how he goes about his job. And listen, just because you have a talented team, there's a bunch of talented teams in the NFL. You got to get them to play their best at certain moments and focus and have tremendous discipline. So I think that Sirianni kind of falls under that leadership figurehead rather than this schematic genius.
It seems like all these big ticket items have fallen to Jerry Jones in one calendar year. I was reading after his amazing weekend that Brandon Aubrey also is about to hit free agency at the end of the year. He's at the end of a contract. How much can you realistically pay a kicker? And is he worth being paid the most of any kicker in the NFL? Do you like his game? And how much would you pay for a kicker?
Aubrey will be clearly the highest paid kicker in the NFL. The only thing is the Cowboys will wait to the very last moment to pay them. But yeah, Aubrey's sensational. I mean, he's a weapon. And I mean, realistically, just look at it math wise. You get the ball at the 30-yard line, you get 2 first downs, you're very confident you're going to get points put on the board. That's insane to me. Like that's not normal. And so he'll get a bountiful of cash and deserves it.
Did you watch the Cowboys documentary on Netflix? We've all watched it. Have you watched that, Dan?
I haven't. No.
Nice.
Honestly, guys, like during football season, I can only literally watch football. Between football, that and live games that I get to watch with the family, and then my kids' sports. I don't watch any television.
Yeah,
at all.
you. I mean, it'll be there for a very long time. When you get a chance, I think you'll very much enjoy it as a football fan.
Everyone raves about it. Like everyone
so
has spoken so glowingly about it.
Yeah, so good. So much behind the scenes and honesty, brutal honesty. Jerry Jones. It's just so well done. I think you would really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So arguably best game in the NFL this weekend in Philadelphia with the Rams coming West Coast again, East Coast. We saw it in the divisional matchup. Rams played Philadelphia as tight as anyone. They're catching 3.5, depending on where you're shopping this. How do you think this plays out Sunday, Rams-Eagles?
Yeah. I think that if we were just talking about them right now and we did not pay any attention to 2024, there'd be a lot of people that would be thinking the Rams are the better team and should go win this game. The Eagles offensively haven't done much. They haven't gotten their pass game going. Saquon's averaging 3.4 yards per carry. Last year he was north of 6 or north of 5.5, close to 6. So they haven't really done a ton on offense. And defensively, they've shown vulnerability. Very much so in week 1, a little bit better in week 2. So you're sitting there going, well, the Rams, even though the score may have looked close against Tennessee, they outside of the Cam Ward Hail Mary touchdown pass type of thing, they kind of stunk to that game, and they've dominated Houston. And so, I would not be in the least bit surprised or shocked if they go to Philadelphia and win. I think that Puka has a big game. You out of respect, because again, you're thinking 24 vantage point, you think Eagles, but they're going to have to play better than they did the first 2 games to win.
All right, he is Dan Orlovsky, presented by MyBookie.ag, code next round every single week. Dan, thank you very much for the time. Safe travels. We'll see you next Thursday.
Have a great week, guys.
All right, buddy, you too. Dan with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Don't forget MyBookie.ag. Sign up, use code next round, and when you do that, you'll, on your first bet, get that bet back bonus of up to $500. Your first bet covered up to $500 at MyBookie.ag, code next round. Coming up at the end of our normal show at 12 o'clock, we're going to transition into the MyBookie Football Picks show. We will do that live with you today, so do not go anywhere. Extra show today. We'll spend 15-20 minutes talking about some of the games from more of a point spread point of view and make some picks. The MyBookie Football Picks show that is coming up at noon Central, right at the end of our normal show. We'll just keep going live. You won't have to change links or anything. Keep going live right there, everywhere you're getting us right now.
Tyler, if you will, man, can you hit the spotlight for us today? Let's do that right now. It's where Brown takes us on a little dining experience around college football. I wonder if we're going to Norman this weekend.
The College Football Spotlight.
We've already been to Norman. This one is going to have a personal connection that you guys might remember. It is presented by our guy, Alexander Shinara, Shinara Trial Attorneys. When you're in need of an attorney, Shinara.com. Shinara.com. That's where you find Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. And what you find is elite lawyers that have recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. More than 150 lawyers in 24 years, more than 500 dedicated team members right there at Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
Are you taking us to a wonderful place to eat in Miami, Florida?
I am.
Yes.
South Beach, Prime 112.
How'd you know this?
Because he remembers the story. Prime 112. Do you guys recognize that restaurant, Prime 112 in South Beach?
Is that where we saw Alonzo Mourning?
That is where we were waiting for a table.
I don't remember it being yellow.
They said, we'll get you guys in when we can. A very nice car pulls up. Alonzo Mourning gets out, comes in. They tell him no. He goes back outside, gets back in the car. We look at one another and say, if Alonzo Mourning ain't getting a table here, guess who ain't getting a table here? That's going to be us. So we bailed. Prime 112. They are known for their amazing steaks. Listen to these. How about the Meyer Natural New York Strip, natural aged, 14 ounces?
It looks like I would have liked that.
They've got a bone-in ribeye, a bone-in New York Strip. Anytime you can do bone-in, I love it.
Wait, we ended up. Oh, we didn't eat there.
We did not eat there. No, once Alonzo Mourning got turned away, we're
we
like,
went
we're
to
not
the
going to
Italian
table.
joint across.
That
right?
is right. Italian joint across the street, which I'm sure is very, very good. Bone-in ribeye for $295. That's not that bad for two people. A bone-in ribeye. Porterhouse for $2, $140. Let me ask you this though: 30-ounce bone-in ribeye for $2. Do you not think you could eat a 30-ounce bone-in ribeye by yourself, Jim Dunaway?
Yes, 100%.
I know I could.
100%.
Lance, 30-ounce ribeye, you couldn't? Not by yourself? Come on, man.
It's a lot of meat, man.
Colorado lamb rack, they've got that as well. The 16-ounce veal chop, and how about this? A Kobe beef hot dog at a steakhouse. I almost want to try it just because it's a hot dog at a steakhouse. Kobe beef hot dog.
Bratty little kid, that's what he orders.
Yeah, I'll take the Kobe hot dog. 1 pound Kobe hamburger as well. They've got all of that right there at Prime 112. Great sides as well. It's a fantastic restaurant on South Beach that we almost ate at one time. But when Alonzo Mourning was told no, we decided, boys, we're not getting in this joint. If you're ever at South Beach, try it, Prime 112. A lot of people talk about Joe's Stone Crab. Try Prime 112.
Texas A&M Notre Dame prime time this past week in a great football game. Not even close to winning the ratings. How about that? Not even close to winning the ratings. Most watched game this past weekend from our friends at On3 Sports by almost double. It's Georgia and Tennessee at 12.6 million. I think that number got bumped up yesterday to 15 million.
Once they added streaming?
Yep. 7-point-something million for Florida and LSU. Then Texas and Notre Dame at just over 6 million. Clemson and Georgia Tech all the way down into the under 5 million neighborhood. That's where you get Wisconsin, Alabama. I think those two games are going on. Colorado, Houston, close to 3 million. Sixth best watch this weekend.
That was a Friday
night game. Oregon, Northwestern, Kansas State, Arizona, Pitt, West Virginia, and then Arkansas and Ole Miss. I think the SEC network for that one. 1.4 million going on at the same time as Texas A&M, Notre Dame, and Georgia, Tennessee. That's still a huge, strong number. 10th best of the weekend.
Can I make a quick point there?
Yes.
And it does require an asterisk. But do you notice you do not see USC Purdue on CBS on that list? Now, it got moved out of its actual start time, but it's still on CBS. And we get all the way down to Arkansas and Ole Miss of 1.4 million. And CBS is I'll say they are paying more to show games in the Big Ten than they were paying in the SEC, and they are rarely in the top 10 with any of their games.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the old days, their CBS afternoon game was always either number one or number
That's
two.
Right. They would have had Georgia, Tennessee.
Yeah, number one or number two.
They would have had that 12.6 million that you saw right there at the top with Georgia and Tennessee.
Yeah. How do you not pay whatever the SEC said to keep that package?
It will never make any sense to me, and it will go down as one of the most disastrous sports media decisions of all time to get in bed with not even your first pick in the Big Ten and pay more for it.
Yeah.
Than what you pay for the SEC.
Even if the SEC said, hey, I tell you what, we'd love to have one network broadcast 3 games.
Yeah.
On one network. What are you willing to pay? They should have said, whatever you ask.
That's right.
We'll make it 11 o'clock, 2:30, and 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you tell me the price.
Yeah, you tell us.
Yeah.
How much do you want?
Yeah, because think about CBS.
But we need you to also buy the SEC network. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Think about CBS. That day probably shows Arkansas, Ole Miss at 11.
Yeah.
Georgia, Tennessee at 2:30, and then primetime Tiger Stadium, Florida, LSU.
Yeah.
And they would have had a massive ratings day. Or maybe they say, I tell you what, we'd like a little Big Ten flavor. We'll show Alabama, Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
You can show Alabama, Wisconsin.
I mean, this is a down week because Alabama, Georgia, they're off. And on ABC, you get Arkansas, Memphis, which is not part of the SEC package. Auburn, Oklahoma, part of the SEC package. Florida, Miami, part of the ACC package, but still in the ABC, ESPN family. So it's a relatively down week in the SEC. But just pull up next week, week 5 TV games. Okay. And this is what you get from ABC next week. That includes Alabama and Georgia in prime time. I think it's a massive weekend, if I remember correctly. It seemed like a lot of games were stacked next week. that really got the juices flowing.
I've got it here, Brown, if you want.
Okay, fire away. It's taking me a second here.
Week 5, Florida State at Virginia on Friday night.
Yeah.
TCU at Arizona State on Friday night.
Looking for the SEC games.
Those are good Friday night games. Notre Dame at Arkansas.
Yep, that's an SEC part of the package.
Yep, we've got Utah State Vanderbilt. No, thank you. We have LSU Ole Miss in Oxford.
Pretty good game. 2:30. Anybody? Pretty good game there.
LSU Ole Miss is a fantastic game.
Pretty good chance, unbeaten.
Yeah. Also at 2:30, Auburn in College Station to take on Texas A&M.
Yeah, so those are going head-to-head.
Could be unbeaten versus unbeaten. One of those on ESPN, one of those on ABC.
That's right.
Tennessee at Mississippi State. That could get interesting.
Yep.
UMass at Missouri. This one, Alabama at Georgia, maybe for anybody.
Yeah, it's already in prime time. Unbeaten versus unbeaten.
And then going head-to-head with that will be Kentucky and South Carolina.
So that's already. Look at the games you got there.
I know.
Yeah, you get Notre Dame and Arkansas in a losable game. You got 2 games in the middle window at 2:30, and then the Alabama-Georgia game at night next week. That's what CBS gave up.
Yeah, it was a disastrous decision by them. That 2:30 window, by the way, next I don't want to look too far ahead, but next Saturday, USC, Illinois, Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, all in that 2:30 window. That's a heck of a window.
I thought USC, Illinois was the big noon kickoff at 11.
That is the big noon kickoff at 11, not in the 2:30 window.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought it said 2:30 right there. It did say 11. That is the big noon kick. You're absolutely right.
Our friends at Michelson.
Good time for that one, yes.
Our friends at Michelson will help Brown with that eyesight and also take us to break here, looking into the future of college football. Coming up on the other side, LT's got interesting trash for us, Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Make the phone call to Michelson Laser Vision. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round as we get closer and closer to another college football and NFL weekend with Rice and Charlotte kicking us off tonight on ESPN and the Dolphins and Bills on Prime. By the way, in that Dolphins and Bills game, 5 straight for Buffalo, 10 of 11 in the series. They won 10 of the last 11.
Yeah. The last win, I don't know if you'll remember this game. The last win Miami had in this series was in Miami when Josh Allen basically couldn't get the snap off right before the clock expired, and Ken Dorsey, the former Miami quarterback, went insane in the booth. I don't know if you remember that video, and he just starts throwing crap, and then, you know, they've got that little camera in the corner of the coaching booth. And he just starts throwing crap and throwing his headset because they couldn't get the snap off. That was the last win for Miami, which feels like another lifetime ago. But that was the last time they won in this series.
Let's tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, our friends at UCA, taking care of you as you age, guys, from your 20s into your 30s and 40s and so forth. Early detection, so important. Stay on top of your health with our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. For over 70 years, they've been taking care of you with the best urological care in Birmingham. 30 urologists, 16 locations, and they do it with the best of care, from kidney stones to prostate health, vasectomies. They do it all for you right there. 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. Interesting note on USC Michigan State this weekend. They don't play each other a lot. 4-4 all time. Series is tied 4-4 all time. Last time Michigan State played in the LA Coliseum, it was 1978. Significant because that was the week after USC had come to Birmingham in 1978 and beat number 1 Alabama 24-14. Alabama had lost early in 77, went unbeaten, got cheated out of a national championship in 77, was preseason number 1. They lose to USC, and then USC, after winning at Legion Field, goes home and beats Michigan State 30-9. That's the last time Michigan State has played out there. The last time Michigan State and USC have played each other?
The 87 Rose Bowl.
The 1990 John Hancock Bowl.
Okay.
That's the Sun Bowl. What is it? Yeah, I think so. I think the John Hancock Bowl is the one played in El Paso.
Because I remember the 87 Rose Bowl with Rodney Peete starting for USC against Michigan State, which was a surprise to get to a Rose Bowl back then.
Yeah, so that's a little rare matchup between two programs that you just think, because you see a lot of the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, a lot of USC Notre Dame, a lot of USC Michigan in the Rose Bowl, not a lot of USC Michigan State. You get that happening late night on Fox coming up this weekend. All right, let's get to trash. Before we get to trash, tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill, LT.
Hemp Hill Services, trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling. Any of these issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What'd you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh?
Because I look good.
That is? You
I
look
smell
good.
good. I
Yes.
feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh, well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. There you are.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We start first with a French airliner forced to circle for over an hour over Corsica while ground staff tried to wake up the sleeping air traffic controller.
I mean, I would like for him to stay awake. If given the choice of the two, I'd like for him to stay awake rather than be asleep.
The Air Corsica Airbus A320 descending shortly after midnight on Tuesday when the control tower failed to respond to radio calls. Only one controller was on duty waiting for the flight from Paris, which was an hour late. Runway was dark, according to the Corse Matin, the island newspaper. Now, talking to regional controllers, the pilots decided to circle over the Gulf while the airport's fire crew tried to reach the controller in the tower. According to the plane's captain, who was not named, he said the fire personnel got no response from the tower. Now, security locks on the tower doors apparently slowed access, but staff eventually climbed its steps and found the controller asleep at his desk. They woke him up, and he switched on the runway lights and cleared the jet to approach. It landed without incident. Now, the controller was tested for drugs and alcohol, but how about this? He was clean.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a positive.
Just maybe overworked?
They said, yeah, probably a little overworked, fatigue, stress.
Yeah. Where was this? What island?
Corsica.
Corsica.
Yeah.
That is one of the most high-stress jobs. I mean, that's what people say, right? That's the stereotype of that job.
I don't know how. I've never done it. I've never been in the room. I mean, I would imagine it can be both monotonous and stressful at the same time.
Yeah.
We had some major cutbacks in that industry earlier this year.
There's a bad situation in Breaking Bad. Do you remember that episode?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember that episode in Breaking Bad.
Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend's father was an air traffic controller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pink teddy bear in the pool.
Yeah, I do remember that episode now. Yeah.
A group of 5 young Florida men facing an assortment of criminal charges for battering and falsely imprisoning a man who they targeted in to catch a predator-style sting that was recorded and uploaded to a website for public viewing for profit, according to court records. I don't know if you guys have seen any of these videos where sexual predator goes out to meet a minor, and then they're confronted by a group of guys that video the confrontation.
I have. There are. This Chris Hansen started a genre.
Oh, yeah.
So there's multiple people that do it.
Now, as alleged in arrest affidavits, the video occurred around 2 a.m. on Friday at a home in Largo, a city in the Tampa Bay area. The victim arrived at the residence expecting to meet a minor for sexual encounter. Man apparently had been lured to the short-term rental property via a dating app. After arriving at the residence, the victim was forced onto a couch while being yelled out to sit the F down, shut the F up. One of the assailants placed the victim in a rear naked chokehold, while others repeatedly threatened him and warned of police intervention. While pinning the victim down, defendants stood in a circle around the man and physically attacked him while he was being trapped. Unable to leave, he was begging, pleading for the attack to stop, according to cops. One of the men arrested, Matthew Qualley, 19, seen upper left right there, forcibly shaved the head of the victim against his will, just to humiliate him, according to the report. A group of attackers repeatedly threatened the victim, coerced him into doing acts of humiliation. The accused men recorded the incident, planned to, quote, profit monetarily from the video, which was uploaded to a website for public viewing for profit without the victim's consent. Affidavits do not identify the website or whether the attack was live streamed. But bunch of 20, 18, 19-year-old dudes arrested, you see right there.
So Chris Hansen still has that show. It's not named To Catch a Predator because I guess NBC owns the rights to that. Still has that show and does it on some website, I think. So, and I think it's behind a paywall too, but I've seen some of the cuts on TikTok. And they still do it the exact same way. They set up the police sting house. They got the people that reach out online and all that. Spent a significant amount of time in Blount County, Alabama, by the way. A lot of video coming out of that one. Got a lot of people not too far from us. And I occasionally get sucked in that algorithm on TikTok. And there are two things that are universal. Either number one, They knew Chris Hansen was going to be there. I knew you were going to be here. They tell him that all the time. Like, I knew you were going to be here. And he's all like, then why did you come? And the other one is, man, this is the first time I have ever done anything like this. Let me read from the log where you say you do this all the time. And he's like, no, man, first time I've ever done. Well, why would you say this? And no, man, it's the first time I've ever done.
I thought Chris got in a little trouble himself.
He did. I can't remember what the story was on that. He was just. He
wasn't tracking down a minor.
No. I think he was having an affair, right? He got caught in an affair or something.
I think there was something like that. And then there was also a story that was why To Catch a Predator got canceled. One of the sting operations resulted in the person they were going for was like high up in local government or at the state's office or something, and he ended up shooting himself.
Yeah.
Chris Hansen showed up.
Yeah, and NBC thought, all right, this is going too far. But no, he still does it online, and it's it's just like it used to be. It's just, it's not on NBC anymore.
Yeah, and now there's all of these sort of people
that
are just like, oh, we can. NBC helped Chris Hansen get in contact with police officers and set it up properly so people could go to jail. We could do that with our iPhone, right?
That's right. We don't need police. We'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one old boy in Colorado, and he catches them, and he'll tell everyone, I'm like, you're my 567th case I've caught. I mean, like, he always tells them how many. Like,
it's amazing how many online sleuths there are.
It's crazy.
So in the forest of Uganda and Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah, the
Ivory Coast, yeah.
Okay, well.
Cote d'Ivoire.
There we go.
Wow, look at Tyler.
Jeeves back there.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Chimps crowd into a fig and plum tree, feasting on the fruit's sweet, soft, and boozy ingredients. Now, a new study shows those daily snacks quietly add up to the equivalent of nearly 2 alcoholic beverages for humans. A team of scientists, University of Cal Berkeley, and other institutions tested the fruit chimps actually snack on. Now, figs and plum-like fruits. Collecting the data wasn't easy, with little electricity beyond solar panels and constantly humidity threatening the instruments. Researchers spent 3 seasons hauling equipment, calibrating test kits to measure in many different tropical fruits. I really don't care if they drink or not. Do you guys?
I don't. No, they're just out there in the wild.
Now, they did say by the end of this, they found on average, fruit's alcohol content came in at about 0.3% of the weight. So they said it was about the equivalent of 2 cocktails for a human.
I mean, that's not that crazy, right? But boy, could you imagine a chimp like hyped up on a handle of tequila or something like that?
Or Four Loko?
This picture is from a real story. It's just from a story back in like 2016.
Right. But that's actually a chimp actually drinking alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Just pounding out the vodka and the
Smirnoff.
Is the kid does it have a little kid on the nipple there, or just hanging out? No, I mean, look, go down.
Oh.
I mean, you've got a
I didn't even notice
small
that.
chimp.
No, you're right. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
That is what that looks like.
Wow.
Huh.
Chimp's getting a contact high.
I know those little spider monkeys over in Thailand. They like to drink.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Where do they get it? They just find it in the trash or something?
Yeah, they
like
get
that?
it everywhere. Those things are running amok.
They steal from tourists, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've just got hordes of little monkeys running through the streets and stealing food and money from tourists.
They're pestilence.
Royal Caribbean ship turned around after a, quote, physical dispute broke out between passengers. Officials have confirmed. This happened this past Monday, September 15th. According to local Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, Miami-Dade Rescue, they said there was a dispute on the Wonder of the Seas cruise ship. According to investigators, a verbal dispute ensued between patrons, which, quote, became physical. Now, this is the time the captain of the ship decided to return to port and contact authorities. Can you imagine being out there and you got to turn around because this happens?
Now, this is as far as what you pay for a ticket. This is up a level or two from
Carnival,
the Greyhound of the Sea.
Yeah.
Is that Carnival, the Greyhound of the Sea?
Officials said the ship returned to the dock around 8:30 p.m. and deputies were standing by. Immediately boarded the ship. They added, quote, both individuals transported to a local hospital for minor injuries. According to police, both passengers declined to press charges. Witness on board told Local 10 they saw people running over to the pool area before the captain announced ships returned to port. Following the incident, social media posts showed photos of emergency personnel responding to the scene. According to one user, about a dozen people were escorted off the ship. Wonder the Sea's currently sailing on a 4-day round-trip Bahamas cruise. Earlier this year, we had a brawl break out among Carnival cruise passengers that resulted in 24 people being placed on a, quote, do not sail list.
I've got a buddy that's on the Royal Caribbean. He's heading back to port now, finishing his tour, different boat. So we instantly texted him to see if this was his boat by chance. He says, nope, not us, different boat, same company. Only have had one fight in the buffet line, and ironically, 2 ladies throwing hands over moving a towel so one lady could get 4 seats together. Didn't really change much for the other lady, but didn't like her stuff being moved down. Came to fist.
So that's the only cruise that did not turn around.
Yeah,
Your guy.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of bad video from cruises recently.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Yeah. And then one of my buddies wrote, we call this guy Coach. It's like a hotel fire sometimes on those boats.
I've never been on a cruise and don't plan on going on one, but you guys have all been to the beach. The whole chair saving thing. People do get bent out of shape about that. Like,
I paid at the pool.
No, I'm talking about
part.
like at the pool. If you go throw like 5 towels down and nobody's even using the chairs.
Yeah. I don't like to, if I paid to have my chairs out there and it's got Dunaway on the tag.
It's a different ballgame now.
I don't want to come there and my chairs already be sandy and wet from somebody else sitting there.
Correct, yeah. I want to be the first one to have sat in them that day.
If it's me that's made it sandy and wet, it's me.
Yeah.
So, if I don't feel like I have to get out there at 8:30 or 9 o'clock if I paid for the chairs.
Right.
So if I want to roll out there at 10:30 or 11, my chairs should still be clean.
It is obnoxious when people, like if I'm sitting down and I'm saving 2 seats for you guys, it's one thing. But when people go down, we went over to Hotel Bar before the Rams game on Sunday, and there were 3 seats. Nobody was there, but there was a purse, a pullover. Yeah. It's all fun and games till somebody takes that purse.
Yeah.
That's right.
But were they just in the pool and their stuff was up there? Were they
I never
waiting
saw
or something?
we were trying to get in there and get brunch before the game, and it was just 3 seats where nobody was, but their stuff was sitting there.
I feel like that happens the most at pools at a condo at the beach.
Oh, 100%.
People will go down there early in the morning and set out 6 towels across a whole row of chairs.
And then they're down at the beach, but they want a place at the pool when they get tired of the beach and come back to the pool. Meanwhile, I'm only going to the pool, and now all the seats are taken up by you at the beach.
Yeah, and I may be gone by the time you get up from the beach.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Back to college football we go. I'm about to bring up our SEC. Well, actually, Forrester and Brooks did this. Our SEC quarterback rankings going into the season. I just want to see how far they've gone astray through 3 weeks. Brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Sterling and the crew never leads you astray there. Great food, brined overnight, cooked to order chicken. Your chicken is cooked literally to order. So if you come in and order the 2 big breasts like I do, that's when they drop it in that beautifully pristine grease, fried up, piping hot when it comes out. All the wonderful sides. Destination lunch location opened at 11 o'clock. Open for lunch or dinner. Happy hour as well as Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. My guy is still TBD on how his year is going to turn out, but he is off to a sluggish start. Here is the rankings, my rankings of the top 5 quarterbacks in the SEC preseason. I'll show you yours, and you tell me where we are on quarterbacks right now. I went Garrett Nussmeier 1, Arch Manning 2, Mateer, Sellers, and Arnold. Right now, Mateer, Arnold, Nussmeier, Sellers, Manning probably of those 5. Obviously, there's a lot of guys playing better in this league right now.
Yeah, the only one that deserves to be in the top 5 is Mateer.
Yeah, and he's first in the league right now. Your number 1 guy is 9th in the league and yards per game, and he's thrown 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. He's actually played bad. Now he's playing hurt. We've come to find out, but he's not playing well.
Yeah, we'll see what the season says for him. And Jackson Arnold could look different this weekend after a trip to Norman.
Yeah, much like you think Klubnik is overrated, Nussmeier is overrated.
Okay. What's next for who's next?
I think we're all bad at this, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm bringing it back to see how bad everyone projected this. LT, much like in the 40 on 40, when I asked for 25, LT does more work. He gives you all 40. He gave us his all 16 rankings. Sellers, Mateer, Nussmeier, Manning, Lagway, who you can make a case maybe playing as bad as anybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That last outing was awful.
Arnold, Austin Simmons has been
not good.
Yep. Simpson, Pavia, there's Talon Green, Marcel Reed, Green and Reed at 10 and 11. Stockton and Aguilar at 12 and 13. Those guys so impressive last week. Bo Pribula at 14.
Yeah, I mean, look, the only one I've got in the top 5 that needs to be there is Mateer.
And then I love it. They were such wild cards. It got so bad at Mississippi State and Kentucky. LT's into the fine print down low. Any of these guys, just throw some names up there. It has been hard to project the quarterbacks. There have been a lot of and nationally, Klubnik is in that conversation. Obviously, Iamaleava is in that conversation. There are a number of quarterbacks that are underachieving nationally. If I asked you right now, if you were going to project from what you've seen through the first quarter of the season to the end of the year, who do you think ends up with the best 5 offenses in the SEC? Like right now, who do you think is the best offense in the SEC when it's all said and done?
I will take Tennessee.
Yeah,
I think it's the best offense in the SEC.
I don't know if I want to go Tennessee because I don't know if Aguilar can keep this going.
I went Tennessee, Brownie.
Yeah, I would go Tennessee number 1. I think by the end of the year, they'll have the best offense in the SEC.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they'll win the league.
No, not at all. It doesn't even mean they'll make the college football playoffs, but I think they'll have the best offense.
I mean, the other offenses that'll look really good are Arkansas, but do they have staying power?
I think they do. I put them in the top 5, and I think they're going to have to keep scoring because their defense isn't going to measure up, and they're going to be behind in a lot of games. So
I did not have Arkansas in my top 5.
I'm a believer in Talon Green. I'm a believer in Bobby Petrino. As much grief as we give Lance about his Petrino love, he's right. The guy knows how to call offense. And they're going to be behind in a lot of games, so they're going to have foot on gas the entire season.
Yeah, I'll give you guys, Tennessee will definitely be there. I think Arkansas will be there. Alabama's going to be there.
Alabama was in my top 5.
I don't know if A&M can keep it up.
I had them 3.
I think Missouri, with the way they run the football.
I had the Aggies 2. Tennessee, Aggies, Bama, Auburn, Georgia. What about Georgia's offense?
I think it's fine.
I mean, it's. I don't know that I put it in the top 5, but I don't know that it has to be in the top 5.
You put Auburn in your top 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like right now or by the end of the year?
At the end of the year.
Oh, I don't see
that. Yeah. Auburn's offense is not impressive.
You guys are giving them no chance, it seems like
I'm not giving them no chance. I think Oklahoma's going to win the game.
I mean, I lean Auburn covers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Auburn had a really good offensive performance on the ground against Baylor. It's all they had to do. Baylor never adjusted. They played Ball State, who is a nothing opponent, so it's really hard to know, but they did to them what you probably should do to a bad team. And then I thought they had a really average offensive performance against South Alabama. So I don't know. I don't know where this Auburn offense is. I know I'll know it through these next 4 games. You get back with me in a month, and I think we'll know everything we need to know about Auburn's offense.
Well, you're playing against the SEC's number 1 scoring defense if you're Auburn this weekend.
Yep. Again, now that number can be impacted. They did play Michigan by their opponents. When you get numbers like that this early in the year, you got to be careful, putting too much stock into that. Like, is Ole Miss's defense as bad as the numbers would indicate? Probably not. But they played Arkansas, who really had their number on Saturday, so it's going to skew that in a 3-game picture.
Our final thought of the day before we get to our MyBookie pick show comes from cut number 8. It's Ryan Silverfield. Now, I played you Lane Kiffin earlier. Lane Kiffin says that John Sumrall will one day be a head coach in the SEC. He thinks next year. Boy, if Ryan Silverfield of Memphis is in the SEC next year or in the future as a SEC head coach, he may regret an analogy he was painting on the Ryan Silverfield radio show, preparing for Memphis's big game this week at home to rival Arkansas in their books at the Liberty Bowl. Listen to the program and coach he throws under the bus while trying to coach his team up.
We do this all the time, but generally on a Sunday afternoon when we meet with the team, we do two things, and we always start off with not our standard. We always start with a negative, and the not our standard is Georgia wide receiver, right, arrested for driving 900 miles per hour over the speed limit, right? That's a weekly occurrence. So that's one of those, like, we'll show.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
That from Learfield and the Ryan Silverville radio show, Memphis Tigers.
Can we pull the graphic again, the last 2+ years on teams over their last 30 games? If we have got that graphic again.
Am I going to see this guy up here?
Well, I mean, Ryan Silverfield, say what you want about Justin Fuente, the job he was able to do at Memphis. But Silverfield, look at this record.
Boy, I tell you.
Big game this weekend, 11 o'clock, Liberty Bowl against Arkansas.
A very winnable game for them, obviously.
Look at that.
I mean,
they are actually the
4.
third. Well, if you're looking at it with 26-4, both Georgia and Ohio
That's
State,
true,
second, third best record at 25-5.
Yeah, boy.
I know it's the American, but still
under the radar, though. You don't think about that ever.
My playoff team this year.
We've heard that,
and I've got them beating Arkansas this weekend.
That'd be a huge win for them.
Yeah, but that's one of those where if you end up in the SEC, Kirby Smart and Georgia's the standard really right now. So,
or even worse,
that's a tough little get.
Even worse, if by the end of the year you find yourself in the old 5-12 game and Georgia happens to be that 5.
Ouch!
That soundbite right there gets played again.
Yeah, I don't know if Kirby holds onto it like Dan Lanning. If he said that about Lanning and they had to play Oregon,
Kirby, who convinced a national championship team that the media had voted him 7-5.
That's true.
You don't think Kirby will hold on to it? That's our show today. Don't go anywhere. Continuous coverage continues with our extended Thursday with our MyBookie.ag pick show coming up. We're going to pick some college and NFL games. So just give us a second to get everything set up here, and we'll just keep going live. So,
no new link. You're staying right here.
Yeah, no new link or anything. Stay right here. Just talk amongst yourself for 30 seconds?
Sure. Talk amongst yourselves. Chat's still open. You can argue about anything in the chat. Or say nice things about one another.
Do I say God bless you, God bless America right here?
I would, yeah.
Okay. So, again, continuous coverage continues. But for those of us that are leaving on the West Coast to see Murder, She Wrote, God bless you and God bless America.
All right, it's time for MyBookie football picks presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round, MyBookie.ag. Code next round. So easy to sign up when you go to MyBookie.ag. They just ask you for a very little bit of information. You give them that information and make sure part of that information is code next round. Code next round at MyBookie.ag, and that is going to get you that $500, up to $500 bet back bonus. You make your first bet. That bet doesn't hit at MyBookie.ag. They'll put it right back into your account up to $500, and you can play again. We are on to week number 3 of the NFL, week number 4 of college football. We'll talk about both of them, all the Saturday action. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Let's get right to it. Let's start with the big noon kick. Utah -3 as they take on Texas Tech. I think what some people might be surprised by is the size of this total, just 57.5. When you look at what Texas Tech can do offensively, that's a bit of a compliment to Utah's defense.
I mean, they've outscored their first 3 opponents 174-35. Baron Morton is yet to take a snap in the fourth quarter. Things will change when they go to Salt Lake. Again, I hate this early game. It's a 10 o'clock kick, local time, Salt Lake. This is one of the more underrated crowds in all of college football. Devin Dampier, over 800 total yards right now. The quarterback transfer from New Mexico, now playing for Kyle Whittingham in Utah. I think he is the difference maker. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry with the legs. I like Utah minus the 3.5. I think it'll be a hell of a game. I think it's a one-possession game. I probably stay away from this game, but if I'm playing it, I'm playing the home team minus 3.5.
Yeah, I like that you went on and picked that one. On the road at Wyoming in the 31-6 win, the key stat for me and what Dampier and his offensive coordinator who have come together, one of those offensive coordinator and quarterback package deals that you got coming to Utah, 9 of 15 on the road last week on third down conversions. That's been a key for them this year. I agree with LT. I think it continues this weekend. Kyle Whittingham in a coaching mismatch. Utah wins it.
Coaching mismatch, Joe McGuire. It does feel like the stage a little bit big for Texas Tech in this situation on a Fox Big Noon kick with all the attention that'll be on that game. Utah -3. Both of you like Utah -3. I think I'm with you on that one too. It will be a popular upset pick. If you're in like these upset pools, we do an upset alert on this show. It showed up on that. Memphis playing host to Arkansas. Dunaway, where Taylor Green put up a ton of numbers. Now you go on the road to one of the best Group 5 teams out there in Memphis, playing in the Liberty Bowl. Early kick. 7.5-point favorite, Arkansas on the road, a total of 62 in this game. So there will be some points likely.
You expect points in this game because Taylor Green has been responsible for 3 straight games of 500 or more yards of a total offense in the passing and running in these first 3 games. So the offense is humming. Arkansas is a good football team. Memphis, though, dark horse college football playoff team. Everyone in the American is talking about USF. Then they're talking about Tulane. And then here's Memphis, a team that probably several times over the course of our BCS and playoff era would have been in a 12-team playoff. I think this is the year Memphis sticks the landing. I think they catch Arkansas looking ahead to Notre Dame, and they pull the upset at the Liberty Bowl this weekend outright, Memphis.
I like Memphis plus points. Physical game for Arkansas last week against Ole Miss. Look, Taylor Green leading the country in total offense, 866 passing yards, 307 rushing yards, 13 total touchdowns. He is going to be a handful for this Memphis defense, but Ryan Silverfield has the best defense he's had at Memphis. We just showed you a graphic, 25-5 their last 30 games, 5-0-1 against the number their last 6 out against the spread. I like the Tigers as well, plus 7.5.
Dang, you two agreeing right now. I'm going to go against you. I like Arkansas. Arkansas minus 7.5. I am a believer in Taylor Green, and Bobby Petrino is going to ride Taylor Green as long as he can all year, and this guy is going to put up, I think, some massive numbers for Arkansas. They're going to beat somebody they're not supposed to. They're supposed to win this one. Obviously, as 7.5-point favorites. Clemson has struggled mightily. Syracuse has the leading passing offense in the country right now. They're playing in Little Death Valley at Clemson. The Tigers favored 17 in this one. Boy, that is no belief in what Syracuse has done early this season, which is score a bunch of points and throw the ball all over the yard.
Yeah, look, Angeli now, your leading passer as far as total yards. Cade Klubnik, the one known we thought for a quarterback coming back in the ACC, 37.5 QBR through 3 games, 121st out of 136 quarterbacks. Syracuse is 0-5 all-time in Death Valley, but all of those losses by 1 score.
Oh, that's a trend and our angle. That would definitely keep you inside the number here.
The question becomes, is this the week that you get Antonio Williams back for Clemson?
Who knows?
Is it? Hamstring injury in the opener. If he comes back, this could be the storyline that starts. With Antonio Williams, Klubnik is much better. I don't know if we see him this week. I don't know if we see him this year at all, but we'll see about Antonio Williams and that hamstring injury and if he's able to play and get Clemson go. By the way, 9 drives last week against Georgia Tech. only 3 of them were 5 or more yard drives. They were either 3 and out or got 1 first down and
that's amazing.
Got one other play after that to keep from going 3 and out. Only 3 of the 9.
I've jumped on the bandwagon of good coaches win, great coaches cover. Dabo Swinney, we threw the numbers out there, but he's 1-7 against the spread his last 8 games.
I think 17 is just too many points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points for the way Clemson has played.
The public is all over Syracuse. Like, you've given me way too many points.
Yeah.
Syracuse, as good as Clemson's defense can be, Syracuse got a good enough offense so they can score on the other side. Can Clemson get this offense? And I agree with Dunaway. Antonio Williams back. It's going to be a different offense. If not, don't know how good this Clemson offense can be.
I'm adding Clemson to my big winner list over here. That has now grown to 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 big winners. Memphis on there too.
Do it. 19 parlay, man.
19. Will you share that with us at the end of the show?
I may go 19 parlay.
End of this show, the MyBookie Football Pick Show, you're going to share that with us.
Wait, and 1, 2, other than Clemson, they're all underdogs.
Yeah. Real quick, we won't spend much time on this game. Oregon's a 35.5-point favorite over Oregon State in the Civil War. Has Trent Bray, Oregon State coach, has he said anything disrespectful about Oregon and or Dan Lanning? Have you seen anything, Dunaway? Has he said anything disrespectful?
Dante Moore should have been more loyal and stayed at UCLA that he walked out. No, he didn't.
No, the 35.5 wouldn't be enough. As long as he's been respectful, this should stay at 35.5.
Did you know this is the second most played rivalry?
The Civil War is?
The Civil War.
I did not know that.
129th time they're meeting.
Wow.
Now, they're 0-5 all-time. Oregon State is in Eugene against a top 10 Oregon team, and I think Oregon is in the top 10, right?
I would say they're in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is a name-your-score game.
No
if
doubt.
Dan Lanning wants to do that. I thought they were a little out of sorts when they played Northwestern this past week. The offense was spot on against Oklahoma State. It was a little off. They still win the game going away. You know, you catch Oregon on the right day, you can lay whatever, and they're going to cover it.
All right, we will do the midday games and make some picks there as well. It is our MyBookie Football Pick Show presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at MyBookie.ag, and that first bet is going to be covered by their Bet Back bonus. Very easy to sign up there and get that Bet Back bonus when you use code next round. What that is going to do is cover your first bet up to $500. You make your first bet, lose up to $500. They put it right back into your account, and you can play again right away at mybookie.ag. That is when you use code NEXTROUND, the bet back bonus. Code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Michigan is at Nebraska. Big Ten action where the Wolverines are a 2-point road favorite. Michigan looking to basically hold on to their playoff lives in this game. I mean, if they lose this game, it is a tough path to the playoffs for the Michigan Wolverines.
2 5-star quarterbacks, Bryce Underwood and then Dylan Raiola. Nebraska beat a Cincinnati team on the opening Thursday night, and then they've really been off the radar, not playing anybody. This is a circle game for Nebraska. It's a chance to go 4-0 for the first time since 2016 for Nebraska, and I think they get it done. I think they win the game outright and cover.
I thought Nebraska would win. This is a really difficult game. I probably will completely stay away from it. It just looks so not easy. There's just something that tells you Nebraska is going to be 4-0. We know they're going to be better in year 3 under Matt Rule. This is a difficult game. Like, Bryce Underwood, I think, is just going to get better and better and better. Raiola's been really good early on, completing 77% of his passes. He's yet to turn it over. Michigan 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. I'm going to lean Michigan here, but I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go Nebraska. I like Matt Rule in Nebraska to get this win. It's going to put Michigan in a tough spot. I don't know how much, if any, a head coach being suspended impacts Michigan. It didn't when it was Jim Harbaugh. Will it now? Biff Poggi got the win last week. Can he do it again at Nebraska? Also in that midday window, Auburn is at Oklahoma. The Sooners have been 6.5 most of the week, but right now at mybookie.ag, Oklahoma is a 7-point favorite. Total of 47.5. It's the start of a very, very difficult string of games for the Auburn Tigers, who come into this game 3-0 yet again under Hugh Freeze, but this is by far and away their biggest test of the season so far.
First time the Auburn Tigers have ever played in the state of Oklahoma.
How about that? Did not know.
Their 25th state that they have played in now. That will happen on Saturday.
They got that map on the side of their RV where they can put the Oklahoma magnet on now, right?
Look, as bad as Jackson Arnold seemed last year in this offense for Oklahoma, he didn't turn the football over, and he's yet to turn the football over, through 3 games for Auburn. If he protects the football And more importantly, if they can run the football, 16th nationally, rushing at 240 yards a game against an Oklahoma defense that's only given up one rushing touchdown. I think if Auburn and Cobb can go in and Jackson Arnold can use the legs a little bit, I think they can keep it under the number. I would take Auburn plus the points right now as we sit here on a Thursday. I don't love it, but I would play Auburn plus points.
I thought Jackson had a bad turnover problem last year, but he's been really good so far this year. To me, it's about controlling John Mateer, who Lance has told you how good he is all summer long. He's another one of the guys that got his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, to come with him. Auburn is 6th in sacks, 12th tackle for losses, 16th in run defense right now. It's Falk and Crawford who have to control Mateer. And that's the thing. To me, you got to stop Mateer from running, creating plays, and let's see if he can throw the football to a receiving corps that's healthier than they ever were when Jackson Arnold was there, and stop Mateer and then see what your offense can do against that Oklahoma defense.
Yeah,
but if Mateer is able to run, then this game's over early.
Yeah. Just back to it, though. He only turned the football over 3 times in 9 starts last year.
That's it, just 3 times.
Yeah, when did you told us yesterday his last interception is before last year's Red River, right?
Yeah, it's last September against Tennessee.
He's gone a full calendar year.
He has gone 223 consecutive attempts without throwing an interception.
That's one of those when the TV shows that stat, you cringe. You're like, oh, no, don't do that. I think Oklahoma wins this game, but I do think Auburn gets it inside the 7. Let's go to another midday game. This one in Oxford, Mississippi. The Ole Miss Rebels, 12.5-point favorites over the Tulane Green Wave, another team competing for that playoff spot out of the group of 5. Tulane just beat Duke. If they could add a win over Ole Miss, they would have to be the leading candidate right now. Still got to take care of business in the American to get that playoff spot. A total of 61.5. So a lot of points expected by Vegas in this game. Can Tulane score enough of them to threaten Ole Miss?
I think they can score a lot of points. Retzloff, the transfer quarterback from BYU, good with his legs this year. The question becomes, what does Ole Miss get from their quarterback position if this ends up being them needing 30 points to win the game? Trinidad Chambliss had a great start last week for the injured Austin Simmons. Lane Kiffin saying this week Simmons is starting again. We'll see if they turn to Chambliss at some point early in the contest. But my question becomes, can that offense look better than it looked at Kentucky against a defensive-minded John Summerall Tulane? This is a scary game for Ole Miss.
It is a scary game for Ole Miss just because you look at Tulane, no Mekhi Hughes, who goes to Oregon, who really hasn't done anything at all for the Ducks. They're still without Hughes, averaging 222 yards rushing per game. You're going against an Ole Miss team coming off an emotional win against Arkansas in conference, a game they should win. They're averaging almost 45 points per game and over 541 yards per game. But Tulane, 9-4 against the spread their last 13 out. I thought I was going to make it my upset alert. I didn't want to draw the wave.
Oh, the wave's fun.
To draw an alligator instead. Yes. I like Tulane in this spot. I don't think they win the game. It would be pretty amazing win if they're able to pull that off, but I think they keep it closer than most people think.
More on the alligator in a moment. I do think Tulane plays it inside the number.
By the way, for those of us that fly the SEC flag,
right?
Scary reputation weekend. Arkansas at Memphis, Tulane at Ole Miss.
2 American opponents right there. Another one from the ACC coming up in a moment in the primetime window. A reminder as we go to the late-night games, and we'll talk some NFL in a moment as well. You can play all the games at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. With mybookie.ag, code next round when you sign up for your account right there. Very easy to sign up right there at mybookie.ag, and part of that is using code next round to get that bet back bonus up to $500 covering your first bet. You lose up to $500 right back into your account with mybookie.ag. That is code next round, mybookie.ag, code next round. As we go to the primetime window, let's talk about the Florida Gators. Lance just mentioned drawing the alligator for his upset alert. Miami coming off that massive win over South Florida. South Florida was never in that game. There was a weather delay, but they were never in that game. 7.5 points. Miami is favored over the Florida Gators. A total of 51 down in Hard Rock Stadium.
They have won 13 straight games in the month of August, September, and October, but they're 4-10 under Mario Cristobal in the months of November and December. So they always get out to these fast starts. I think Florida's got as much talent on their roster as Miami. It doesn't look like it through 3 games, but Florida just can't cash in yet. There's still a lot of, obviously, season to play. Terrible performance by DJ Lagway. I think he wakes up a little bit, plays much better in this situation. I like Florida plus 7.5.
My question you have to always ask when a coach is virtually dead man walking is what's left in the want-to tank of the team. At Baton Rouge, they still wanted it. They played hard. It was a very passionate team. Now one more loss stacked on that, going on the road at Miami. Is there still want-to in the tank for Florida? I would say that the fact you're playing another Florida school with a lot of kids that you went to camps with and played high school football against, that helps Florida. I agree with you, but this stat's too good for me not to say it one more time this week. And I got this from The Athletic. 28 straight wins is what Billy Napier would need to get to match the winning percentage of Dan Mullen when Mullen was fired at Florida.
Just a remarkable number.
There's too much going on with this proud Florida program. I mean, he's 20-21. They haven't beaten a top 5 team since 2020 when they knocked off Georgia. I mean, 5 years they haven't beaten a top 5 team.
It is remarkable.
And they've had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah. Another reason why I like LT, I like Florida, though. Carson Beck last year, 3 interceptions at the Swamp against this Florida defense. They schemed him up pretty good. He's got better receivers with Joshua Moore at Miami than maybe he had at Georgia during the cocktail party. But 3 interceptions last year. Beck survived the cocktail party despite throwing 3 picks. Does the Florida coaches have Beck's number? We'll see.
And DJ Turnover actually went out injured in that game, and Florida was right in it when they did. I'm going to die hard on this Florida team. I like them to keep it inside the 7.5. I think this will be a very entertaining late game. Another one that could be entertaining, Illinois, one of those teams that a lot of people had as a sexy player. They're this year's Indiana. A lot of people said, well, this week they're a 6-point underdog.
To this year's
Indiana. That feels like it is a primetime game in Bloomington. This number, I think for a lot of casuals, seems surprisingly high that Illinois would be given 6 points on the road at Indiana.
It continues to go the wrong way for me. The first time I looked at it was 4.5.
Yeah.
Now it's 6. It's my upset alert earlier this week. I'm going to ride with Luke Altmaier to think that he can play another good, solid game and just try to rely on Illinois' run game to get it done. What will be surprising in this game will be Indiana's defense that is getting rave reviews. They played nobody, but there is a belief that Indiana's defense will be the story of this game. If I'm playing this game, I'm playing a total, and I'm playing it under like it's an Army-Navy game.
Well, look, it was Indiana State last Friday night, but they held Indiana State to 5 first downs and 77 total yards.
Wow.
I get it. Look, it's not a big-time opponent, but that's still dominant defense. You've got 2 really good quarterbacks. Mendoza, in my opinion, a little bit better, leading the Big Ten with 9 touchdown passes. But Altmaier's yet to turn it over. 8 touchdowns, 0 picks. But going back to it, Indiana under Cignetti, 11-4 against the number. I will take Indiana. I will lay the points here.
That total's 52.5, by the way.
Oh, that seems like an easy under there.
You played under.
Yeah.
That does feel easy.
It does. I would say this, though. Illinois has been tested on the road at Duke. Mm-hmm. Indiana hasn't yet, and sometimes that makes a difference.
Yeah. I just feel like 6 is too many. I think Indiana probably wins this game. I think Illinois keeps it inside the 6. And if it is a low-scoring game, that's 6 points. Translates into a lot more points. All right, we go to the NFL, all the Sunday and Monday night action in the NFL. A reminder, MyBookie.ag brings you our football pick show. Code next round at MyBookie.ag when you sign up, and you get that bet back bonus up to $500. MyBookie.ag code next round. MyBookie.ag code next round. What looks like the best game on Sunday is going to be in the early window on Fox. The Rams at the Eagles. The Rams catching 3 points on the road in Philadelphia. A total of 44.5.
I mean, look, the Rams played a challenged offense in Houston week 1 in SoFi. They didn't give up a touchdown. They gave up 1 touchdown right before half last week to Cam Ward, and not a very good Titans offense. I don't know. I think the Rams are good. I think the defense is playing better and better. Puka Nacua, you heard Dan Orlovsky on the show earlier today, one of the best receivers in all of football. I think the quarterback matchup, I don't know. Where do you guys go? Hurts, Stafford?
Stafford has had the better career. Hurts does have jewelry just like Stafford does. I mean, that's a tough one. Hurts didn't play amazing in the win at Kansas City.
I would not play this game right now, but I have seen it at some shops 3.5. If I could get the Rams plus 3.5, I might take a look at that, but I don't feel great about this game either way.
I will tell you there's an interesting stat out there. Again, this is from The Athletic. The Eagles have only 3 pass plays of 10 yards or more, 8 fewer than the next worst team in the NFL. So it's been a very short passing attack. It's been a running attack. It's been the tush push through 2 quality opponents. Now they get the Rams. Everywhere I've looked, it's been Rams, until I just popped up this one on The Athletic. Vic Torfor, I think, likes the Eagles.
Okay.
Vic's your guy.
So there you go. Turning back your other way there.
Let's talk about some afternoon slate action, or late afternoon slate action. Denver's at the Chargers. Chargers 2.5-point favorite in this game. Denver didn't play well in a win over Tennessee. They got robbed in a win over Indianapolis. A late penalty gave Indianapolis a second bite at the apple on a game-winning field goal. So they're 1-1. The Chargers, meanwhile, have a chance to go 3-0 to open the season against their division. That is rare air right there when you could start your season 3-0 within your division. And the Chargers can do that with a win.
Chargers 5-1 against the spread their last 6. On the other side, Denver's only 1-5 against the spread. I said before the season I thought the Chargers would win the West. But I like Denver in this spot. Getting 2.5. Everybody's talking about the Chargers. You can't go anywhere where people are talking about the NFL and top 5 lists. The Chargers aren't in that top 5. I'm not saying that makes them a loser in this game, but from the way Bo Nix played in Week 1 against Tennessee to the way he played against the Colts last week is more the Bo Nix we saw last year. I think that continues against a really good Charger defense. I think this will be a dogfight, but I kind of like Denver to win the game outright plus 2.5.
If Denver wins it, it'll be because their offensive line continues to play better and give Bo Nix time. When Bo has time and is able to get the pass out quickly, that's when he's at its best. Sean Payton's at his best. Broncos are at their best. I don't worry about the Broncos' defense. Can the O-line hold up against the Chargers' defensive line to keep us from getting backyard Bo? And that's where things go bad.
Cowboys are at the Bears. Dallas -1 at Chicago. The Bears' offense hasn't been great under Ben Johnson. Nothing helps more than playing the Cowboys' defense. So it's not a very good defense. So if ever you're going to have a good offensive day, this will be it.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, it's going to take him a minute to get on the same page as Ben Johnson. But you're right. I mean, this Dallas defense has been awful. The total has gone over in 7 of the last 10 games for the Cowboys. I think you're getting a lot of points on both sides here.
That total's 50.5.
That's a big NFL
big
total.
NFL number, yeah. Not the biggest of the weekend, but a big one.
Are the Bears favored? Is it a pick 'em? It's pretty close,
it's
right?
Dallas favored 1 right now on mybookie.ag. Yeah, very close.
I'm money lining because it's 1. I'm money lining the Bears in this one.
-106 for that.
I believe that in the NFL you get a lot of push to the middle. I just can't see the Bears being 0-3, right? They're 0-2.
They're 0-2.
Caleb Williams and them get it right at home. They beat the Cowboys in a close one.
They just got shellacked last week by Detroit.
Yep.
And to see this number come at -1 is interesting, but I think that speaks a lot about where the Cowboys are defensively.
Well, and just to let you know, Caleb Williams' last 13 games as a starting quarterback, 1-12.
That's not great. That is not great in 13 games.
Bears win it outright.
And then Sunday night, Chiefs at the Giants. Chiefs are a 6.5-point favorite coming off a bad offensive performance at home in the loss to Philadelphia. The Giants coming off a loss on the road at Dallas, but it wasn't the offense's fault. Russell Wilson had a career high in passing yards in that game.
I got a friend who works in Kansas City media, covers Kansas City. Some frustration out there with injuries in the wide receiver room. It seems to be a weekly occurrence the last couple of years for Kansas City. They are beat up. And the offensive side of the ball is becoming frustrated with it. Not that they're not really hurt. It's hard to keep going to do your job if people can't do their job, if they can't get on the field. They just have a lot of bad luck injuries in that wide receiver room. But it's got to be Kansas City. It's Kansas City or don't play it in this game.
I think I would play New York actually in this situation because I think there is so much desperation. And you think about Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes are going to be looking at Malik Neighbors like, how in the hell do we not have a guy like that? But, I mean, if Russ can just continue, just to kind of churn out yards and put them in a situation to win these games, I don't think Kansas City can outscore anyone. By the way, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, Kansas City. 1-9 against spread the last 10 out against the New York Giants. I kind of like the Giants to keep this thing close. And that would be a massive story. If KC was to drop to 0-3 and lose to New York.
Yeah, all of a sudden your odds at 0-3, even for Kansas City, of making the playoffs become very, very grim.
What do you think the most popular Super Bowl pick right now is, the opponents?
Probably
Eagles, Ravens? No, Bills, Eagles?
Bills, Eagles. If not the Bills, it's
the
Chargers.
Ravens. Oh, the Chargers?
Chargers are a very sexy pick right now.
And if not the Eagles, the Packers?
Chargers, Eagles. Who Chiefs played the first two games?
Well, that would be the Chargers and the Eagles.
Chargers and Eagles.
Yeah.
They played two pretty good teams.
And one of those in Brazil.
Everything's not so bad.
They've only
yet.
lost once in the United States.
Yeah,
That's
but your leading rusher is Pat Mahomes. That's a problem.
That is a problem.
And you've got
Yep.
5 starting quarterbacks this week that won't start because of injuries. He continues to run the football at that rate. He's going to be number 6.
Yeah.
Andy Reid. Andy Reid knows they've not won a game yet since Travis Kelce got engaged. So a lot of pressure
You talk
to get
about
it right.
this all the time.
Hey, he makes that catch. I mean, that's not one that Travis Kelce's going to drop, and that was the game changer against Philadelphia. It goes off his hands, very Ryan Williams-like, into the hands of the defender.
Very
and
rare.
That was the swing.
All right, all the games can be played right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at mybookie.ag. That gets you that bet back bonus of up to $500. Here's how that works. Use code next round when you set up your account there at mybookie.ag. Make your first bet. If you lose, they cover it up to $500 right back into your account, and you can play again right away at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. So easy to sign up right there at mybookie.ag. Just a minimal amount of information they ask you for right there, and then you are ready to go. But one piece of that information, make sure you use promo code NEXTROUND to get that $500 bet back bonus, up to $500 when you use code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Thank you for joining us for the MyBookie Football Pick Show. Please give us a thumbs up, share us on social media, and make sure you do a couple things for us. On our YouTube page, make sure you subscribe and set your alerts so you know when we're live. And wherever you get us on podcasts, make sure you set up automatic downloads available at Apple, Spotify, iHeart, all the major podcast platforms, Google Podcast as well. Set up your automatic downloads so our show downloads every day. We're live 9 to noon every single weekday on the next round. Thank you for joining us for the MyBookie Football.